What's up? It's Jordan Grainger with the Kokomo Press Podcast, and we're back this week with episode 3 of season 5. And boy, do I have a great panel for you. Seriously, returning this week, my good friend, my buddy, my pal. We have Hypocrisy Jones back in the house co-hosting with me, and he brought along some guests that are very near and dear to his heart. He brought with him Devon and Nicole Wooldridge. Yes, I'm very excited to have them back in the building. We had both of them on the Kokomo Press Podcast a long time ago, separately when they were dating. Since then, they've got engaged, married, and they are with child right now. We're very excited. But the exciting thing, the thing that's even more exciting than that, well, depending on how you look at it, but the exciting thing for me is Lucky Raven Tattoo Lounge is opening up a new location at 200 North Main Street. Yes, their own location. They're moving from behind Fade in the back there to their own location, and Devon is bringing some other artists along with them. I'm excited. I was very excited to talk to them. It was a great conversation. We hit on a little bit of everything. We talked about their burgeoning life together with their kids and their new baby and their new business and what they're dealing with. We talked a little bit about scammers and how they have been affecting all of us and really hurting us in different ways, including our good friend Dustin McKee from The Reveal, who got hit this week with a really weird scam. We talked a little bit about that. We talked a little bit about one of the weirdest clients that Devon has ever had, and there was a lot of bizarre twists and turns. We talked about comedy and how Devon might come out and actually try to do comedy with us. Nicole was trying to get him to go. We talked a little bit about everything, dude. Honestly, this has been such a great podcast. I had a great time talking to our friends Nicole and Devon, and Hypocrisy Jones really brought the fire. Please enjoy this new episode of the Kokomo Press Podcast with Devon and Nicole Wooldridge of Lucky Raven Tattoo Lounge. This has been the Kokomo Press Podcast, baby. Have a great time with us. Woo!
This video contains adult content not suitable for children.
Be closer to the steering wheel, and sometimes my belly will just yeah.
The joys of pregnancy.
Yeah, it's a great thing. It's great.
It's beautiful in the beginning.
My belly.
Well, it starts in the beginning. You're excited, and then the second trimester, it's the throwing up and shit starts.
Oh, yeah. Well, so the first trimester, you're throwing up, and then the second trimester is where you have that little break.
Yeah,
where you're big-ish, but you feel normal. And then the third trimester, it feels like it's just gonna blow your whole cooter out.
Yeah, and you're just can't fit anywhere.
Just miserable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Nauseous all the time.
Well, you're carrying well.
Trying.
Your nose hasn't gotten big yet. That's the end. That's how you know you're getting towards the end when the nose starts to...
your whole face just kind of blows
gets puffy.
Yeah, that was me. That's going to happen to me again.
The good news is I didn't notice with either of my baby mamas until I looked at pictures afterwards, and I was like, fuck.
I didn't really notice. I think I blew up more being in the hospital having the baby.
Yeah.
Because they have you on all those IVs, and it's liquid going through you.
That's true.
So that's when I really blew up. Because then when I would look back at pictures of me in the hospital, I'm like...
they're just getting you going.
Oh.
I'm like, let's not show these to people.
But then you proceed to show them all of
everybody.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they're cute.
Look at them.
Look what I made.
Yeah, I made
Check
this.
it out. There's a little human.
It's a little baby.
Peter Jackson's I want to be there as a cute.
No, you don't. No, we're not going to change your relationship with that until it's your turn to do this.
I said, baby, you don't want to see that. And he goes, are they going to cut him out of you? I'm like,
that boy scares me. I'm just going to say it. He scares me.
he is my son.
Yeah, he punched me in the dick today. And I said, you want me to punch you in yours? He's like, do it.
Oh, God.
He did.
I was like, I'm not punching you in the balls. He's like, do it.
He's the fuck around and find out kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well.
Yeah.
That's how Jackson did. Jackson, the other day, he came up and just punched me right in the wiener. And I was like, really? Is this what we're doing?
This is a high five.
I was like this, because he thinks he's Spider-Man. My kid gets out of the car and he's does this weird Spider-Man pose. I don't even know how I can't even
get
do
it.
It's a superhero
That's
pose.
Jackson, Jackson. He jumps off things and lands.
Must be a Jackson thing.
It must be.
Yeah.
The 3-point hero stance.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what are you?
Blow your
Quit
knees out.
jumping off things. He goes, Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
I'm like, okay.
Yeah. Okay. Makes more sense now.
Yeah, makes
Yeah.
complete sense.
Now that you have a reason, go
Jumping
ahead and
off my
destroy my couch.
furniture.
It's fine.
Yeah.
If you have a reason, you
It's
can
just your
destroy
local neighborhood superhero.
Yeah. Yeah, your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
He would be the one that goes, I don't want to climb up there and save you, so I'm not going to.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. He'd 100% be like, pay me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could just imagine a superhero like saving your life and then being like, actually, will you look at this? And it's like tip 15%, 20%,
Yeah.
25%.
Like a tip on there.
The best part would be like, everybody's
Saving
like,
your
so when
life.
do we start tipping our superheroes now?
Yeah, we gotta do something. We can't just let them. After watching Spider-Man and how poor he is all the time, he has like the worst story. It's like he's just broke all the time. He's always dealing with the worst shit.
His uncle dies. His aunt eventually dies.
Everything. It's
Not
like
everybody
tragic.
Batman.
No. Batman got it all the way when he was really young,
Right.
And then became a brooding like, "Fuck, I'm rich."
But I feel like it happened to him at a young enough age where he moved past it.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, he's moved past it, but then it's always like if you ever watch like what's his name? That comedian. I brought him up before on a podcast. The guy that does Batman. And he does all the superheroes. He does like on YouTube like funny versions of it. Pete Holmes. You guys ever heard Pete Holmes?
Yes.
Yeah, and he does I was a boy. He does the Batman. It's so funny because he's like, don't talk about my parents. Like it's just the trauma of being a superhero.
Like he had time to get over it, but did he get over it in the like, healthiest ways though?
No.
Like he grew up and took his father's business and said, "I'm gonna beat people up every day."
Yeah.
He's just Joe Rogan without the podcast. He learned jujitsu and shit, and he's like, I'm just gonna learn it and then beat people up and get rich and say whatever I want.
Yeah.
Do
I
whatever I
kind of
want.
want to see this now.
Well, let me go say we are recording now. So we did start when we were talking about the baby stuff. Yeah, we've got very special guests in the house. First off, I'm Jordan Grainger. This is Kokomo Press Podcast.
Yo.
Of course, we have the wonderful.
I'm Hypocrisy Jones.
Yeah, he's hanging out tonight, and we've got two guests that are returning, but they haven't been here in so long that they're like, "Is this the same thing?" I don't even. There's so many cameras.
So much fancier now.
First off, we have the very pregnant Nicole. How are you doing?
I'm here.
You good?
Doing good.
Baby, you're here with you're a submarine right now.
Yes.
You're like working with a whole baby.
I'm ready for October.
Yeah, I think you have the first baby on the podcast.
Yes.
Yeah, let's give a little round of applause for the first baby ever, and of course returning.
Yes.
Devon. Oh my God, it's Wooldridge, right?
Yes.
Okay, I always want to add a wool. I want Wooldridge. I always want to say. I think it sounds like wool. Yeah, I don't know.
It's like very much like a 1940s like news presenter.
Yeah, this is like your element right now.
It is, yeah.
You're like, yeah, Barney's food. Come out to the Woolridges and Woodridge. That's right. Come on down. No, I love it, man. Thank you guys for coming. We're going to throw some more. Thank you guys for coming back and hanging out with us today.
Thanks for having us.
The last time I saw you guys were up on stage helping this guy get married.
Yes.
Yes.
That was a fun night.
Such a fun day.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Did you have any nerves starting off?
A little bit.
I felt like I heard the nerves in the beginning, but then like you settled in and were like, I'm about to throw some jokes in here. We're about to have it. And you did a great job.
Thank you.
I was really impressed.
I love doing it. And I don't do it very often. I've only done it for friends, but it's one of my, I never went to weddings.
He officiated, by the way, just so you guys know. And Nicole helped. They were up there together like as a tandem. It was nice.
Yeah.
Never seen that before, but I was like, that's a really cool. I think it's like having a man and a woman together.
Well, that was Kim's idea.
Yeah.
She she's just meant so much to me. Like she was my first friend that I ever made when I came back here really and started working at Fade, and then it was kind of crazy how me and him were kind of doing our thing, and then you and her were doing your thing. And us two were like, is this going to be a real thing? Like, is this going to happen? Like, so it was just us two girls, like, talking about the guys that we're sleeping with, but not really with.
I appreciate the honesty on that.
I mean,
she's pregnant. We're sure you were sleeping together at some point.
One time, guys.
One time.
Yeah.
Sounds like you did it right.
So
It's stuck.
it just felt so fun, and I was so honored that she wanted me to stand up there because I was like, man, we started together.
Yeah.
Like, so it was really cool.
Started from the bottom, now we're here. Yeah, we'll throw some
Yeah.
Drake in there. Throw some Drake. Every episode.
Sprinkle a little
Too
bit.
much Drake, man.
Too much Drake.
I want to see you're consistent though, because there was Drake in the last time I was on here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
See,
Talked about Drake.
last week. We do it all the time. There's always ends up Kendrick
It's a
and Drake.
reoccurring topic.
Yeah.
If it's not Drake, it's like Kanye. But like, we probably have to talk about Drake because he's like a Texas citizen now.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah. That's
Fucking
a very
Texas.
Texas
Letting
taking
all
everybody.
sorts of illegals.
They took
No.
all these foreigners keep coming. He wasn't coming up. He went the wrong border. He went the other border, which is hilarious. Yeah, I mean, that's exciting, though. Like, I love the concept of you guys basically started dating at the same time.
Yeah.
You guys got married. They got married. Now you guys are pregnant. Maybe.
No.
We
not
can't
gonna happen. No.
convince you.
No.
Just another light skin down here.
Fucking kids, bro.
I know, you
No,
two have
bro.
two.
Hey, this is it for us.
4 is too much.
4.
I'm sorry. I tried, Kim. That
She don't
was
want that either.
doesn't want any? No kids?
No.
kids? Okay.
She just gets the love on this one.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you guys you have 3 already, 3 boys, and you're
Three boys.
working on a 4th boy.
This will be our 4th boy.
You constantly are putting the stem on the apple, it sounds like. He's like, we can't get the girl to pop out.
No.
You're such an elegant woman. You have such a great style about you. I bet you would have been so excited to like dress her up looking like a little boho girl, like a little style
Honestly,
queen.
That was one thing I would really like to have a girl to dress her
Yeah.
up and be cutesy. But then, like, before we found out, I was sitting there and I was like, I might fist fight her.
100%.
If I get another version of myself,
Yeah.
this might be an issue.
Which is funny because I've told you that about the boys many times. You're like, you're not going to fight our kids.
Oh, it's gonna happen.
I'm going to.
Oh, yeah. It's
But-
going
Oh,
to
yeah.
happen.
Yeah.
It's going to
2,
happen.
I thought, we will be broke.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
I don't have the credit
He
score
will
for a
not
girl.
be able to say no
I don't.
to her.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
it's above
impossible.
average, but it's not that good.
I was
I
like,
can't say no to my boys even. It's hard. I mean, when
It's
you have kids,
hard.
it's hard to say no. You want to like give them something that you didn't have when you were a
Yeah.
kid, and you're always trying to like.
And I'm kind of like the mom that I am the boy mom.
Yeah.
Like, I am not. You can try to gentle parent boys, but it is impossible.
Oh yeah.
I don't care what someone says. It is impossible to be a gentle parent when it comes to boys. So I am the one that if you're going to keep jumping on my couch, you're going to fall down, bust your head open and bleed out.
Yeah, it's just gonna happen.
Like, you're going to happen. And he's like, okay. Like, he
He does.
especially our youngest.
He's a
he just-
superhero. We talked about this. He
Yes.
doesn't care.
He doesn't care.
Anything to defend the city.
Now,
I must defend my mom.
yeah.
I will sacrifice my body for all of you.
So, I mean, with a girl, you have to be way more gentle, I feel like. You
Yeah.
can't tell them you're going to fall and bust your head out and bleed out. They're going to start bawling their eyes out.
Yeah, I mean,
our oldest
typically,
goes, like, start
yeah.
crying, crying,
I mean, luckily we've got a lot of bleeding in nowadays. I feel like we've created such a great society where you can kind of regardless of gender or whatever, you can do whatever you want. So you've got like we
Yeah.
had the woman in the Olympics to just beat the crap out of everybody, and she's so good that everybody thought she was a dude.
Right.
Yeah.
Like they're like, this woman is
There's
so
absolutely
tough.
no way she is a woman.
Yeah, they're like, there's no way she could possibly. And it turns out that she's just a really strong, athletic,
a strong
hardworking woman from Algeria who's. And then I saw she got a fancy makeover. I don't know if you guys saw that.
I
Don't
have
laugh. Don't laugh. I know. She looked like Andy Samberg. I was like, it's like Andy Samberg in drag. Poor girl. She can't help it. Like, she's a very masculine woman. But, like, that's part of who people are. It just is what it is.
I was hoping he had it. I didn't know.
I almost saved it, but I was like, I wasn't trying to go that low this week, but here
got
I
you.
am.
I
Still
got you.
doing it. I can't help it. No, I mean, to me, it sucks. Like, I feel horrible for her. And I mean, there was a lot of conversation. I stayed as far, like, we talked a little bit about on the podcast about, like, some of the things but I stayed as far away as, like, I'm not going to have an opinion on some girls, like, gender. Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
Like, especially if you don't have any real facts, it's just conversation. And I'm like, you know, if it came out that literally this was a man, I might have been a little bit like, ooh, that's rough. But like when you're talking about she's an actual woman who's been a woman her whole life in a country where they don't allow transgender people, it's like, come on, let's keep it real.
I said this from the jump, man. That one chick got punched in the face and couldn't take it.
She's like, I'm out. I'm out.
And she thought she was ready, but she was not ready. She was so fact and not ready that she was like, well, that couldn't be a woman. That's a man, and was wrong.
Cut to Kevin Hart going, she wasn't ready right now. I mean, it's wild to live in this world. I mean, it's great that we can like kind of like transcend things, and you guys have a very open place of business at Fade. You guys have people of all like races, genders, religions, nationality. It's great. I mean, I think that's one of my favorite things. When I would go in there forever because, you know, my barber, it's Brent. Everybody knows Brent McLean is my barber. He ended up moving away from Fade, so I go see him where he's at.
Yeah.
You know, I got to follow my guy. But going in there, I always enjoyed, you know, the diversity in there and the inclusion in there that you always had. Like, you saw so many different people in so many different lights, and I like that vibe. I think it's a great vibe.
That was
you guys
what
have.
I was so excited when I first started working there, was because it was so unique and open to anybody.
Yeah.
And like really no judgment. anything. So that's what it was so nice working there.
Yeah, I like that. You still working there? Mm-hmm. Okay, so we do have a little bit of announcement, Devon. You are moving on.
We are, yeah.
And we mean this in the most lovely way possible. You are opening your own tattoo shop.
We are, yes.
The Lucky Raven is moving from the back of Fade Salon into its own location at 200
migrated.
North Main Street.
Mm-hmm. So it's the big green building. It was Pizza Co. for a while.
Okay,
Yeah, it's like right on the corner.
Yeah, I like that.
But yeah, we're moving. We are moving with a big group of people, so it's not just me anymore.
Yeah, so who do you have coming with you?
So I have Evvan Amondson.
Where's he?
He used to be a New Breed.
New Breed? Okay.
Yep. And then Katelyn Bilby, same thing, used to be a New Breed. And then their apprentice Anne is coming as well. And then hopefully my apprentice Tristen, when she's done popping out her own little baby.
Oh, there you go.
Yep, she'll be back.
Baby fever in that building.
Well, they had a pregnancy pact.
Yeah.
There's 3 of them.
There's okay.
Okay, so let's get to the bottom of that. A pregnancy pact?
We made a joke. Me and my best friend Jalen made a joke about being pregnant at the same time and how funny it would be because then we could just, our husbands could just call each other and be like, hey, so she's craving this. I'm closer to this place. She's craving this. I'm close to this. How about I just get your wife this thing, my wife? And we were like, it would be so much fun, like just teasing. And then it turned into Jalen's sister, Tristen, who was his apprentice, got pregnant after I got pregnant. And then Jalen got pregnant. And we're literally like 5 months apart from each other. So we have our spooky baby coming. Then we have our Thanksgiving baby coming, Tristen, and then Jalen's due literally Christmas Eve.
Yeah, just hitting all the major fall holidays.
All of the holidays right there. We're all right there together.
So what did we learn about speaking things into existence?
Sometimes group packs are not always a good thing.
Yeah.
Why couldn't we just say we all get bangs? Like, why did it have to be babies?
Yeah.
They did say bangs. It just meant a different kind of bangs. All right. Sorry, I had to throw that joke in there. No, that's awesome, though. But you're opening up the shop. Lucky Raven's moving in from the back of Fade. It's going to move to 200 North Main Street.
Yes.
It's a green building. Are you going to change the color? You're like, I like green. We're going to keep
I love the green.
Good,
I love
good.
The green.
We love green.
The
Like
inside's really cool. It's got exposed brick all on the inside on one whole wall.
I like exposed brick. Everywhere I go, I'm looking for exposed brick.
Oh, yeah.
We do comedy, so when we're doing comedy, we're like, we need a brick wall behind us.
Need a brick wall.
Put a brick wall back there.
Yeah. No, but it'd be really fun. Like, I've always wanted to open up a bigger space.
Yeah.
And been talking about it for years, and I just never pulled the trigger on it.
Yeah.
And then I was helping Evvan move, and I walked into their house, and he was like, so what do you think about us maybe expanding? And I was like, okay.
Yeah.
But then did nothing with it.
So that's exactly what you said to him as well. What do you think about expanding there, the family, and so you guys are expanding all the way around?
She constantly was like, we need to do something. We need to do something. I was like, yeah, one of these days we will. We'll do it.
I love it. Are you going to be in that shop too? You're going to be doing kind of double duty? I kind of, when it's in the family like that.
So yeah, we both will be hopefully opening the very beginning of September.
Yeah.
Yes.
That first week. So we both won't be at Fade anymore, which is really sad because I'm going to miss everybody there. But Lindsay and Dustin have been very helpful with this whole business aspect because it is very new to both of us.
Yeah.
So they have been very helpful with different things, especially Dustin with Devon here.
Yeah, like I brought it up off air, but I'll bring it up on air. You wrote a really beautiful post for Dustin on your Facebook, Devon, and I was like, okay, good. Because like the thing about these things is, sometimes you do kind of, I say outgrow, but you don't really outgrow. You just grow, and you get to the point where you're like, I can't really grow anymore.
Yeah,
so let me do this. But also, he's been a great mentor, and you guys have worked together for so long.
For a long time.
I was just we all worry when things happen. Like things are good, and it's good to know that you guys are great.
Yeah, no, it was really cool.
Yeah.
Like I sat down, we all talked together about it, and they were super cool from the beginning and excited, and they've been excited this whole time. It's been really, really fun.
That's amazing. Yeah.
I love
probably
that.
bummed a little bit to lose you guys. It does suck because it's probably nice to be able to be like there's going to be times where they're like, hey, Devon, or hey, Nicole, I can't talk to them as easy.
Lindsay has.
Guess I have to text.
Lindsay has constantly said something.
She's like, Nicole, when you're gone, who's going to do this for me? And then I'll come out of my room. She's like, that guy.
You're taking it from me.
His fault.
Took her Nicole away.
No, she's excited. She's like, great. I don't have to worry about like the pregnancy part. She's just gonna
The liability.
No,
is
I'm
over
just kidding.
now.
Get her out of here. No, I'm just kidding. That's awesome. I'm very excited for it.
it's
Let me
super fun.
throw that. This anytime Mazel Tov, you baby, new building, taking the business to its own location. That's exciting, man. And then pairing up with some people that you respect and you
Super
like
cool
locally.
people.
That's
Super
exciting.
Cool people. Like I've been friends with Evvan for over a decade. Like he was the best man at my wedding. I officiated his wedding. Like we've been friends for years. And his art has just grown so massively over the years. And then our friend Katelyn as well. She's truthfully only been doing it for I think 5 years maybe total with apprenticeship and everything.
Yeah.
Most of that self-taught.
Yeah.
And she's much further on than people that have been doing it for 20 years.
Sometimes it just if it's something you want, you can make it happen.
Yeah.
And that's what I love about both of them is they're both super hungry.
That's what I like to hear, too.
Super hungry.
Yeah.
And yeah, so that's...
Well, the
that
good
was
news, if you're in the old Pizza Co building, just pull up one of those. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Little ghost. That's
You
the-
put too many things in an oven, Devin. Stop doing. I'm just kidding.
Take it away.
Sorry, I gotta have all the puns I can, the dad puns.
But no,
Yeah,
it's
that's
really
awesome.
exciting. And it's super exciting to open with people because I always wanted to open a place, but I didn't want to open just another shop in Kokomo.
Yeah.
Because there's plenty.
Yeah.
So I
and you don't
wanted-
want to force it into a situation when you don't have people around you that you want to be around you, because that can get rough, especially when
sure.
you give a sweet gig. You're kind of like, this is my space back here. I have my own
And that's what it was
apprentice.
for a really long time.
Yeah.
And that's where I just never really wanted to pull the trigger until I knew I could open up a space that was competitive,
Yeah.
that would set a standard.
Yeah.
And that's when Katelyn and Evvan got a hold of me and we all started talking and getting it all figured out. We're like, okay, I could do this.
Hell
This is what
yeah.
we can do. So it's also reassuring as a business owner, and the money aspect of it is having people I can trust.
Yeah.
And people that I know are going to pull their weight and really work, and they're there because they want to be there, not because I'm having to make them come in.
It's hard managing people. I will say that. We've all done it in different aspects of it, and the setting roles, setting responsibilities, standards, setting like goals together as a group.
For sure.
You got to be able to move forward, and you got to be able to talk and communicate and have those tough discussions, and even the fun ones. Because a lot of times people do focus on, well, I got to have this tough discussion, but like sometimes you got to have the fun ones too. You got to make sure you're still maintaining the relationship, not just in a business aspect, but in like a fun and inviting aspect. And I feel like I'm pretty confident you're good at that. You have such a personality and you're such a personable person. I've only really been around you a few times, but every time I'm around you, I'm like, this guy's got he's got a joie de vivre. He's got something about him that I think he can handle this. And obviously, as an artist, artists were notoriously not like that type A. I'm a type A among artists. It's really rough. He's kind of like that too.
Yeah.
And would you give your So it's a good thing when you have that part of your brain developed as well, because you'll meet a lot of people that are artists that they can't put on their socks that day.
Oh, 100%.
And it's like they're so
Oh, and
discombobulated.
I've worked with them before. That's where, for the longest time, I was alone because I worked with Fade. I was the only tattoo artist there.
Yeah.
So that was kind of a little bit of, I was like, oh, I'm going to go back working around a bunch of other artists again. Because sometimes then, because I worked with Evvan for a long time at Newbury before I moved to Fade too. So I've worked with him previously, but I've worked in other shops where it's a room full of toddlers crying that their drawings aren't
Competitive
the best.
amongst not like working together.
For sure.
Yeah.
And
That's what I love about all of you guys, though, that we, like, everybody that's coming over, they all have their own style.
Yes, that is the
Like, it's
beautiful
all
part of it.
different styles of art.
Yeah.
So
'cause-
that's where it's really cool to me.
Yeah, I think we've got some really. I mean, I always talk about how talented Kokomo is, but there's some super talented people in every aspect of creativity. Like we're talking people that do a great job with hair, people that do a great job with tattoos, people that do a great job with piercings, people that do. I mean, we've got video, we've got comedy, we've got music, we've got everything. I mean, even the bars. Like the Coterie is such a talented bar. Right. Like it's a very talented bar.
It's
Cooper's,
very-
man, I love those guys so much, and the way they've turned that around since when it opened. Like we've been working with Cooper's for 6 months now. Like, did we just hit it?
Officially 6 months.
Officially,
now.
so let me throw that over here. Yeah, I don't know if you guys get a chance to go through there very often, but like the Jackie Page, the lady that runs it, she's turned that place around in such a way where, I mean, I'll keep it 100. I went in there one time, had food, it was okay. I went in there next time, had food, it was almost inedible. And then since she's taken over it, I went in there. I've not had one thing where I'm like, this is gross. Everything has been hit.
Nice.
Yeah.
She's really fixed that menu, turned it around, and the people in there are great. So like when you surround yourself with good people, when you surround yourself with people, like you guys have both been very lucky to have great people around you at Fade. But then when you go out and you venture out on your own, you're like, you know what, I'm going to do this thing.
Yeah.
Surround yourself with good people. So
It just makes everything a lot easier, a
Oh,
lot more
oh, yeah.
comfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got a good group with Hypocrisy here, Belle. We've got Courtney, we've got Brian, we've got myself, and it's like we all kind of bring a different perspective in a lot of ways and different concepts. And the one thing that's going to happen inevitably in every group is you're going to kind of step on each other a little bit and try to navigate your way. Sometimes you gotta, but we've done a pretty good job.
Everything too.
You're right.
I feel like, and
Yeah.
especially when you're so close with somebody. That's where, going into business, we had to kind of learn, like, we're all really good friends. So how do we voice, like, this is how we want things ran? Because this was, a big thing that we wanted to do. And it was like, but really, everybody's been so cool, so chill.
Yeah. Even times where I thought it was going to be a difficult conversation, it's never been a difficult conversation.
Never.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
So
that's good.
Everybody's
Sometimes you'll
super
have that.
understanding.
I know that even with things that we talk about or things that we do, sometimes I'm like, sometimes I'll be thinking, oh man, nobody's going to like this idea or they're going to think it's stupid. And then they're like, no, actually, it's pretty cool. I dig that.
Oh yeah,
No,
it happened to me today. Or last night it happened to me. I literally messaged the group. I do these edits for our pictures for every comedy show we do, and he was like, maybe we should put the logo behind, because I always put it up to like the right. He was like, maybe we should put it behind, and I was like, nah, I don't know. I don't want to cover the logo up. And then I was messing around last night with something. I was like, that kept sticking in my head. And I'm like, I need to check this out. So I put it, and I was like, God, he was so right. He was so right.
So the thing you didn't see.
I didn't see it. He saw it. I kind of blew it off at first, and then last night I was like, "Bro, you were totally right." I literally, and I think that's important as well to like know that if you sometimes it happened with Brian. It's happened with Brian before. It's happened with Courtney. I remember Brian. We did the Mike. You guys ever watched the Mike's Pizza video that we did a Mike's Pizza video where, and when Brian told me when to do that video, I was like, "This is so stupid. I hate this so much. I can't believe I'm gonna go out in like we're talking like 10-degree, 15-degree weather. I was shirt off, like titties out, like exposed, pretending like I was an Italian guy, like, oh, it's me to make the pizza. And we did this video, and I was like, this is the dumbest shit. I edited it together, and then we put it out, and it blew the fuck up.
Yeah.
And I just remember at the time being like, it doesn't always stick, as you learned, but like, I need to make sure that I'm not, like, because you had another great idea that we were talking about, and I was like, bring it up to Brian, because he's going to be the guy. I don't want to poo-poo this idea, but like to me, I can't wrap my head around it. Let's talk to Brian. He knows more about the comedy thing. Like, and Brian was like, I like the idea. So we're going to try to adapt that. So it's like, sometimes you can bring an idea to one person and they're just like, I can't even, like, it doesn't work in my head. But then it actually does work if you let them execute it in the right way. So
For sure.
it's important, man. Working with a group it's very rewarding. But it's also way harder. I mean, being by yourself is so simple.
I think too, with us, we've kind of come with those being married and trying to do this business together. Because I will voice a lot of like, but I'm no artist. I don't know. I can't draw a stick figure. Okay. So I'm over here like, I know how to deal with people.
Yeah.
And like get events going. Like I love event planning. I love doing all of that. I like doing all the back work.
You're good at this too. I know this is only your second time being on a podcast, first time with us, but like you're really good at this. A lot of people.
That's where it's like, I just like doing that. So I was like, well, I want to be that for the business.
Yeah.
I want to be able to do all that for you. But there are some times where I'm like, okay, so this might happen and I'm going to need you to do something about this.
Yeah.
And then he'll be like, he gets very defensive. I love you. He gets very defensive. And then, so we've kind of learned how that might happen with being married. So
I think it's a lot of like, I maybe need to not get on the defense and not think that you're trying to attack me directly.
Yeah. Right.
yes.
Like, oh, okay, maybe I didn't do this the right way.
Yeah.
Kim and I go through the similar things because, like, I'm not, like, she's an artist. Like, I think everything that she does is, like, literal art. And I know takes her time and effort to put that work in. And, you know, just like you guys, we have future plans for her to expand and to keep on growing and things. And like, you know, I feel like I want to be an integral part of that to be helpful with that, but I'm not the artist. Like, I don't know enough about hair. You don't want me to cut your hair. And there's sometimes I think I'm colorblind, but
I'm not sure what the shade is on that.
But you want to be a part of it. You want to help them because, like you are a very big people person, and you like to get out there and do that kind of stuff. And that's like what I like to do. He is very like, once he knows somebody, he loves getting out there and doing stuff. But I'm the one that's like, I will plan this event. You want me to do this? All right, I'm about to get decorations. I'm about to do this. I'm about to get this going. Like, I will talk to these people. Like,
well, you're also the organized one, and I'm not.
Oh, yeah.
I am the organized one.
That's helpful. I'm in my group. I feel like I'm the planner. Yeah. I'm the guy that's like, well, I got to do this, and he does a pretty good job of it. If I had anybody that was like he was like more like the guy who's like right behind me. He's like the understudy, or like he could handle it if I'm not there. So I'm not worried about that. But like Courtney and Brian, they're not the plan. Yeah. Courtney loses her shit so quick. Brian's like, whatever you guys want to do, I'll be over here. Just tell me what to, like, he's like, brute, like, give me role. I need to do something. And we're like, okay, Brian, here you go. I hope he watches this and he's like, this motherfucker.
I hope so too.
But I think that's good though, because you guys do have that added pressure of like, at the end of the day, you go home to each other. That's really hard. I see people at work who are dating and then they leave for work in the morning together. They, you know, maybe they have like we need to fucking go right now. Like, you're gonna make me late, and then you get there and you're like, make it in, and you're like, we just blew up already. Now we have a whole day of work. Right. Then the drive home, and then the day that can get a little rough, man. Do you guys decide some mornings like, let's just drive separately so we can?
Well, we. With our kids' school schedules now and everything, with our youngest being in kindergarten now, we're not having to drive to 3 different schools, which is nice.
That's a pain.
So there are days where we can ride together.
Okay.
But I feel like we have done really good at keeping work at work.
Good.
And we're separated at work.
And we're separated at work. And it's going to be
room.
Basically the same thing when we open the shop. I'll have my own office.
Yeah.
So and it'll be more with the new baby coming in October. It's going to be a lot of me just, if I need to go in, I can go in.
Yeah.
And I'll have my own office space so I can take the baby if I needed to go take the baby.
Yeah.
And we have never had issues with kids being in a tattoo shop. We have said that the artists, if they don't want kids in their rooms, because we have each artist will have their own private room, kind of like we do at Fade.
Nice.
That's smart. Yeah.
So we do like having that own option of, he's like, if, you know, that was one thing I liked about him was I was a single mom. I couldn't get tattooed when I wanted to be tattooed because, man, my sitter canceled.
Yeah.
But really he's had things where he's like, well, if the kid's not an issue and he's had one incident where the kid started getting kind of crazy and the parent handled it really fast and they just continued the tattoo. And
not all really parent is created equal. So like some people can, and I like that about you. Like you are a family man, you're a family woman. Like you guys, and you guys.
He's like, I want my kids in my shop.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it's like I've never had an issue with them. Like if they are being a little off the wall, then I expect the parent to take care of it. And they always do. If they don't, then it's a problem.
Yeah.
Typically, it's harder. When you're a parent and your kid's acting wild, you're the one that's like on edge.
You want it to end immediately.
It's crazy when you meet a parent. I don't know if you guys have ever had this happen, but I've met parents that like don't care that their kids are unruly, and you're like, those are the people you don't want to be around ever. You're like, oh, okay, this is the last time we're hanging out.
I've known those people.
Because it'll drive you crazy if you're like, oh my god, like it's like almost like a pet. Like I was actually writing a joke last night. I was like driving home and I was thinking about like the difference between pets and babies and how like, you know, when you have a baby, you have like an expiration date on when you have to touch their poop. Whereas with dogs, you're signing up for a 13-year commitment to like clean up shit and like
even once I get you to do it outside, I still have to pick it up.
Like their whole life is literally you picking up. Like they're just like, you are the shit guy. You're the guy picking up shit. And so I was thinking about that the other night. I'm like, if you go to somebody and like you're willing to make that commitment with your animal because you've already made it. Yeah. But then you go to somebody else's house and you have to deal with like a dog jumping on you. You're like, I don't have that commitment on this dog. I'll fuck you up.
Right. I need to get off me right now.
It's always funny, man. Yeah, we talked a little bit last week about the fact that we have a new venture coming up, live stand-up comedy, Laugh City is what we're calling it, in Gas City. We're taking over their tower, Laugh City now, coming in September.
City, bitch. Gas
and
City,
this
bitch.
comes out on Monday, tomorrow morning, so we're going to be announcing our first ever show, Battle of the Towers, Kokomo Press presents. Friday, September 13th, 8 p.m. at Gas City Brewing Company. We got a little bit of a Battle of the Towers. As you can see, ours is dying because actually, technically, ours is dead. Ours is already
we don't
dead.
have one anymore.
But I couldn't imagine just letting it die. So I was like, maybe it's just a little hurt. Maybe we can bring it back in spirit.
Poor Devon probably doesn't even know yet. Either.
Were you guys here? Did you guys ever see this tower? You guys seen pictures of this tower at least, right? Around Kokomo?
I've seen pictures.
Yeah.
It used to be in Kokomo. You would come into town and you would know you're getting to Kokomo when you saw this gigantic, like American flag-esque, not really, but checkered, like red, white.
When did they bring it down?
They knocked it down the day I lost my virginity. Literally.
Oh.
This is crazy. I'll never forget the day I lost my virginity because I just have to look up, when did the tower go down? Because I was sleeping next to the girl. It was a great night. And then I heard boom. And we're all like, what the? It's like, devil's coming for me. I did something wrong. Jesus hates me.
It was you.
Yeah, the angels are coming down to get me. I shouldn't have done it. I wasn't married, Lord. It was a very rough time. But no, it was the tower going down and they blew it up.
Wow.
Apparently it was just rickety. It was old and rickety.
Yeah.
We all wanted to keep it, but it was time for it to go. But yeah, we're doing this great show with Gas City Brewing Company. On the lineup, you're going to have Hypocrisy Jones in the house. You're going to have Sean D., Jeff McKinley, Devon Shoemaker, Brian Allen West, myself, and Dan Alton. So we're very excited about this show. So keep an eye out for that. We're going to have, I think tickets are going to be $10. They might be $12. I might have to change this because we were talking about, the fee for Eventbrite. We don't want to pay that. We'll pass that on to consumers. But we actually have this coming up. We should be not dropping it soon, but it's going to be a great time. That's in Gas City, 245 East Main Street. So you guys are on 200 Main Street in Kokomo. They're on 245 Main Street. Main Street, every town has one of those, and they're always great.
Kokomo Press and everything that we're doing, we're just trying to blow up everybody's downtowns and everybody's main streets. So,
Yeah, blowing up main streets, blowing up gas towers, whatever we got to do. Yeah. Well, but anyway, we have a lot of stuff going on. We just started. We've been working with Cooper's for a while, and this is the first venue outside of Cooper's that we were like, let's try this. Let's see how it goes.
That's so cool.
I went this last Wednesday. Brian and I went down. We drove up. I think it's up to the right.
Yeah,
I don't know, something like that. We went up there. North somewhere.
Northeast.
We went northeast up there, and we drove through Greentown, and we went up there and met with them, and they're a great couple. And in my head, I'm thinking the same thing with all the collaborations. We all have just these couples coming together, buying a brewery, and having a great time. So I'm excited. We're gonna, like I said, Dan Alton's going to be there. I'm excited to see him again. He's our headliner.
Yes.
He's so funny.
Yeah.
He's from Louisville, Kentucky, and he's just
funny as
wild
shit.
one, dude. Yeah, we got
Kentucky, my stomping ground.
That's your stomping ground?
Yeah.
What part of Kentucky are you from?
I was born in Winchester, but then I grew up in Lexington.
Kentucky. Okay, so you're a little more like a South Kentucky. Is that South Kentucky? Am I crazy?
I say my boys were born in Lexington.
Yeah, is that the capital? Is Lexington the capital of Tennessee or Kentucky? What's the capital of Kentucky? Yeah, look what I just did. Look what I just did to us. Look what I just did to us.
You
You should probably know.
I should know this.
The rest of us have a pass.
Yeah, we have a pass.
Yeah, you guys don't have passes. I don't.
I feel like it's one of those where it's not super obvious. It's not Louisville. It's just some random
Yeah,
town.
it's probably like not. No, it's not. Something like that. There's my ex-wife. Her family lives in Kentucky. They live. So I used to always go down to Louisville. I have to say Louisville. Louisville. Go down to Louisville. I went to the Louisville Slugger Museum. You say that to them, they love it. They love when you say
Oh,
that.
I'm sure
we
they
love
really
it.
enjoy it.
Yeah.
Isn't it St. Louisville? No, they have no sports down there. Everything's like college related. I don't
Over here
know.
It is
cringing.
college. You're either go big blue or you're
Go Big Red.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like Lexington that's the UK, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and then
big blues.
Louisville is obviously University.
Yeah.
Cardinals, go Cards. Yeah. No thanks to either one of those. Yeah, this is exciting though. I love the fact that you guys are venturing on your own. There's so much going on in this world that we're all dealing with constantly. I've been getting like constantly sick lately. I don't know why. I've been getting hit so often, and I'm been trying to.
COVID and it's elections.
It's COVID 3 or 4. Are we on? It's like the Jaws. Yeah, the elections for sure. The election's coming up, and that's a pretty big deal. A lot of people were talking about that. Do you guys know Dustin McKee? He's in a band called The Reveal.
Yep.
he had to go through a lot the other day. The other day, his Facebook got hacked. And somebody put up this hilarious shirt and got people to pay for it. He ended up putting this up, do not buy this. Somebody put up a 2024 guitar with steel wings, musical legend Dustin McKee, and a bunch of like his people were like, oh, we'll buy it. And then turns out it was just a scam.
Oh, no.
So he put it on his page. He was like, no, guys, please, if you bought it, I appreciate you, but I would never call myself a musical legend. I'd be like you having a shirt that says tattoo legend. Like, come on.
No,
That's like cringe, right?
Mean, at the same time, the amount of people that would buy it, though.
That's what I was like, that's nice. It's nice to have that kind of support.
Marketing.
Yeah.
Don't buy this. Really.
Yeah, they played the Coterie a few times up there. And they played, the Reveal, Josh Norfleet, Dustin McKee, and then I don't know their drummer's name. I think he's from Tennessee because they're in Nashville. They're down there all the time doing, but they come up here. I think they're going to be coming up here soon to do a show. Did you see that?
I know they're back and forth here a lot, but
I'm excited. We were talking about getting them for Harvest Fest, which is a festival that we're doing in conjunction with some friends of ours.
Yes.
But we ended up not being able to get it to work. Unfortunately, I don't have the flyer on here.
You did Harvest Fest last year as well, didn't you?
Yeah, this will be the 10th Harvest Fest in all. Third one we've done comedy.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, he won't be there this year.
No, it's sorry, it's Ken's birthday weekend, and we'll be in Gas City the day prior.
Yeah, it's true. He is doing the Gas City show, so that'll be
Okay.
exciting. Yeah. So yeah, he's like, I can't do both.
Right. I'm already sacrificing Ace's birthday to be at Gas
He'll
City.
be all right.
He'll be okay, but he already gave me shit about it.
Oh,
He's like, you're gonna skip out on my birthday. And I was like,
it is 21 plus. That's the bummer.
Yeah,
At least if you could have done Harvest Fest, all ages.
I think he's going to Harvest Fest.
I'm excited
enough. So
I've already said, let him know if he needs if anybody's fucking with him, I'm gonna.
He knows.
knock him out.
He knows.
That's right. I tattooed one of the guys you had for Harvest Fest last year, Cool Cock Tim.
Yeah, Cool Cock Tim's great.
Cool
Cock, yeah. He's a fun guy, man. That was his first time ever doing comedy.
That's what he was telling
at
me.
the festival.
That's what he was telling me.
Scary, dude. Before we started doing our open mic. Thursdays at Cooper Pub. Yeah. Before we did our open mic, we would write sets and then have to do them for the first time in front of people. Yeah. That's not normal. No. It's like you want to be able to like work it out and then go on stage.
See, that's where I've been meaning to just get on the list and do a Thursday night.
You should.
I know you have material. You've talked to me about it. So
I do.
It's 5 minutes.
Well, that's my only big thing.
Well, he was like, I talked to Jordan about it and was saying some of my material, and I don't know if he thought it was funny.
Well, so I was like, I feel like I'm funny to my friends.
You are
but
funny.
they have context to my life.
Yeah.
I don't know if strangers will find me funny.
You have to find a way to give them the context on stage. Mm-hmm. It's hard to do, and it feels like it's too much exposition, but that's something we've all learned. Like we have to he does a hilarious story about when he's a kid. People would always ask him they'd be like, "What's your race? What's your race, little girl?" And he throws in what are you, little girl? And that kills people because they're like, "Oh, we didn't know they were talking about your gender too."
Right,
so he throws it, and it's just figuring it out.
You never know when it comes to comedy, so that's where I think he gets really kind of nervous about it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't care.
Yeah.
Get up there and just be funny. Our life we have some really funny stories in our life.
Yeah.
I have so much. I have so much.
Yeah, I think stories are really good. And then when you do them we had a guy, so this week we had a guy named Jacob Allen. Yeah. He's only been to 2 mics. Both of them were ours. He went to one when we were doing it in the basement a while back before the fire marshal shut that shit down. But we're getting ready to get it back up. But we moved upstairs in the patio for the summer, so it's been nice. But he went for the second time, and both times I was like very surprised because we've had a lot.
Funny as shit.
We've had a few newcomers come through, and first time, and they're not they're not writing jokes.
Sure.
They're just telling a story.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think if you can do both, and sometimes you can tell a story so well that it's just funny. Like that happens. It happens a lot. But I think a lot of comedians, when they start off, they start with like one-liners because it's easier to get in that way, get a few laughs, get some confidence, get comfortable on stage, and then. But starting off with stories is rough. But if it's a good story, people are gonna feel it.
That's funny.
I'm not trying to deter you, so don't
want to do it.
Come do it.
It's like it's one of those things. Like, if I never do it again, if I just do it one time, I'll be happy.
We're actually really trying to encourage newcomers to come and first timers to come. I know Cooper's
Pause.
Pub. Yeah, pause. Thank you.
It's for him. He makes me do this.
I know Cooper's Pub, they just started initiating, if it is your first time, you get your first drink on the house.
Yeah.
Or the
Free drink token.
Free drink token.
Yeah.
I know one of the ideas that we were kicking around that we were talking about kind of earlier is that we want to do a newcomers kind of themed thing, whether it's a newcomers night that lets people get comfortable, or if we do maybe a first timers tournament sort of thing. And then we got some ideas for this, and hopefully it'll come. And if it comes, pause. We'll shout out. We'll throw all the flyers out. But
This is me every time you say pause right here. Yeah. Pause. No, I mean it's great. We are always encouraging people to come up, and we're like, listen, it's 5 minutes. We have a red light. When you're done with your 5 minutes, we throw it up there, and then you can finish whatever the end of your joke or whatever, and then get off the stage. And honestly, it's like it's the same thing we say about podcasts. The heart, like starting is more like doing it is more important than thinking about doing it, because a lot of people. They'll be like, I have to have this first, or I need this first to start. Before I ever do it, I have to have, And so I think just getting up there, I mean, you're coming up on a year. I think in September is his 1 year of ever going on stage and doing comedy, like officially.
Wow.
yeah.
And he did it at Harvest Fest last year, which is why I was hoping he'd come back. No, he's doing the day before. It's fine. It's Kim's birthday. I get it. Thanks, Kim. I'm just kidding. It's always a Kim and a Kanye. It's always their fault. No, but I'm so excited for him because like the growth that he's had. He's always been personable.
Sure.
But one of the things he talks about on stage, and I know I'm speaking for you right now, but is you have like anxiety.
I do.
In front of people.
I have lots.
And I feel like this has helped so much. It helps so much. And do you have a lot of like social?
I love social.
So I feel like you'll
speaking.
be good. Just go up there and
I
talk.
have no issues with it. I did when I was younger.
Yeah.
I used to be terrified.
And then you kind of got to the point where you're like, I don't give a shit.
It's pretty much what it's at. It's not even that I'm confident about it. I just stopped kind of caring as much.
At the end of the day, when you look over at him and you know he has a social anxiety and he doesn't, I mean, what's your fucking excuse? Come on, man. We'll get you up there.
I've learned,
I'm
like,
I'm with you. I'm with you. I'm helping
Get
you
him
out.
up there.
Well, my thing too is because I work with random people.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All day, every day. Like,
You got to find common ground all the time.
To where you just get very used to just speaking and then let it flow rather than being like, I don't know if they're like, should I talk to them?
Well, let's mess around here. Do you have any crazy tattoo stories where you're like, this was the wildest? Like, give me one of those. Do you have any that you can pull out of the Rolodex with that? I mean, we don't have to give out names, We don't even have to tell what the
I
specific
can because I
tattoo
know he's like,
Hell yeah.
lives like the Unabomber somewhere in like the Minnesotan rainforest.
All right, tell me about this.
So
He's more apt to watch this program. But
This is our
enjoy
that's
the
our
story.
demographic, actually.
You'll enjoy
It's
the
actually our demo.
No, like, so it started in Fountain Square because I worked in Fountain Square for about a year.
Yeah.
And I was standing outside and this guy was just riding his bike down the street wearing what appeared to be nothing.
Oh.
Fully nude. And he looked like giant beard, long hair flowing in the wind. Like he just looked like an Afghani. Just dropped him in here and he's just pedaling, trying to find somewhere to go. But he stopped and asked me for a cigarette. So I gave him a cigarette, realized he was wearing like a little Speedo budgie smuggler situation. Yeah. And I went to give him a lighter. He had the lighter tucked in the smuggler.
God.
Oh, no.
Yeah, which was kind of him to not touch mine. But then
good to be prepared.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he came back like the next day and wanted to get a tattoo. So I'm doing a tattoo on him. And I take IDs to do release forms. And I look at his ID and it legitimately, he looks like the Unabomber. But his name is Bear Butterfly. Legal government, like
on
animal
his
and
ID?
insect.
BEA or BEAR or BARE? Which kind of bear? Okay,
Yeah.
so like an animal bear.
Animal and insect. Yeah, Bear Butterfly.
Okay,
So I'm talking.
Native American, I'm assuming.
No. Super white.
All right.
Super
Well,
white.
Hippie child.
Well, that's what I
Yeah.
found out. It's like he was living on a almost continuous diet of nicotine and mushrooms. Because he was
Like
living...
psilocybin.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he was living out of this burnt out like raper van that he had taken the floorboards out of it and planted all these like mushrooms underneath the floorboards and had heat lamps to grow them, and he'd just drive around.
This is insane.
Yeah. So he's telling me all of this stuff, but he's saying it very aggressively. But then he tells me that he's a war veteran and this and the other, which I can laugh about it because he was not 100%
And you have
stolen valor.
so yeah, you have family that's your
Oh,
dad.
yeah, my dad.
You're a
dad was Air Force. My uncle's Army.
You're a
whole
military
family.
brat. I remember that from the
yes,
first
for
conversation.
sure.
So you're like, this mother.
Well, he's saying all this stuff. And I'm like, none of this makes any sense, man. But I was like, okay, I'm not going to call you out on it because I just don't have the time of the day to do it. And you're paying me to do this, so I don't really care.
We'll wait till you run for a political office.
Yeah.
I will throw it in your face.
Yeah.
I'll start an entire regime over it. But no, he followed me up to Kokomo when I moved up to Newbreed after I left Fountain Square.
That's awesome.
Which none of the guys that I worked with were accustomed to that type of person. You work in Indianapolis, you get used to the Indianapolis people.
Right.
Yeah, I feel like now maybe because there's a lot going on downtown now. But yeah, before you're absolutely right.
Yeah. So I told him, I was like, hey, my client from Indy's coming up, and they're like, oh, cool. And I was telling him, I was like, oh, his name's Bear Butterfly, and they're like, that's fucking weird. I was like, I mean, yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
What he does, he shows up in his Raper van, and what he tried to spray paint, this thing was blue, but he tried to spray paint it like khaki green. It just looked like he set the front of it on fire. And he pulls up, and he's got like one of those tail butt plugs hanging from the rearview mirror.
The story just keeps going places I'm not expecting.
Yeah,
Oh,
right.
it
Well,
gets
in that
wild.
first appointment, they were like, man, you drive a Raper van. The next appointment, he shows up with welded chains in the back of this van, like handcuffs, chains. He just kept
He's leaning in.
kept leaning into the situation.
leaning into it,
He never
yeah.
stopped.
He was like, well, if they know it already. I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I
Oh,
mean,
and they're trying to hide
why
it.
hide
Yeah.
it?
Oh, 100%. So it's actually pretty apt to today. Nowadays, he calls me one day and he's like, hey, I'm coming up. I was like, okay, cool. Well, he's like, just when I get there, just be kind of understanding. I'm like,
Oh,
okay.
God.
Okay.
I'm like, the dude's weird as fuck anyways. So I'm like, I'm pretty understanding of you in general, my man.
How much more do I have to understand here?
But
Because
at this time, like, your name's Bear Butterfly. You live off mushrooms that you grow in the floor of your van. Like, we're here, man. It is what it is.
that's hilarious.
Well, he shows up. Now, granted, this man, full beard, long hair, mountain man,
Yeah.
shows up and hair is permed, no mustache, and he's transitioning.
Oh, okay.
But he didn't, he just told me, hey, be understanding. I was like, okay. And he shows up, and it was kind of a shock just because I wasn't expecting that. He'd never talked about it. There was no discussion before or anything like that.
She never talked about it.
She?
Yeah.
No, now, yeah.
Yeah, she.
And so that's where he gives me his ID, and he was really excited because she had changed her name now.
Yeah.
To where it was now Lily Bear Butterfly.
Okay.
And I was like, okay.
I was waiting for Butterfly Bear.
yeah.
I was like, what if you just switch it up?
But the story got a little weird. Now, granted,
Oh, now it's getting weird?
it's getting weirder.
Now?
Now, granted, I'm an unabashed deviant.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
there's very little that will bother me.
Of course, yeah.
But I was tattooing the inside of her thigh. She wanted the inside of her thigh done.
Yeah.
It's like, okay. But it was a snake, but it was a zombie snake. Super high up on her thigh. So, I asked her, I was like, does this represent, the loss of anything? And she was like, no, I just really like snakes. I was like,
Oh, all right.
okay, fair enough. But, of course, I'm tattooing the inside of her thigh, and she hasn't fully transitioned yet, so she has all of her born parts.
Yeah.
And she just keeps moving everything around. I was
Yeah.
like, I reposition my junk, too. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's fine.
But I don't linger on it.
Yeah.
Oh. Oh.
So is this like one of those, have you seen the videos where the girls are getting inner thighs tattoos and then they start squirting? Have you seen this crazy
I
shit?
have seen that.
You've had
Yeah.
to have seen it as a
I have
tattoo
seen
artist.
it. I have seen it.
Is
I
this
did
another
let
one of those, but instead instead of a hole, it's a pole? Or
It
is
would
this
have
like a-
reached that point, I believe.
Yeah.
But I asked, I was like, hey, man, what are you doing? And she was like, oh, I'm just repositioning. I was like, okay, it's fine.
Oh, yeah.
But she wouldn't stop.
Yeah.
Now, granted, this is when I worked in New Breed before they had put in the booths and everything, and it was just the one big booth.
Yeah.
So it's not just me in a little space by myself.
It's everybody.
It's me, Lily. I got Evan behind me with his client. I got Johnny in front of me with his client. And of course, we have this partition thing up to
Yeah.
block the view. Granted, the whole wall is all mirrors behind, so you see.
This is the
everything
second
over.
week we've heard the term partition. This is awesome. I buy that. We talked about that last week.
This is how we know we're upgrading.
Yeah, we're
Yeah,
using
because-
partition.
Partition.
Yeah.
So
So I've got all these people, and I was like, you got to stop doing that, or you're gonna have to leave.
yeah.
They're like, well, I'm not doing anything. I was like,
Hey.
Sis,
your wiener says different.
sis, come on. Your dick's in my face.
I was like,
It's her clit. It's an elongated clit.
it's her clit, it's her body.
God damn it. How dare you?
I shouldn't tell her what to do with her own
Did
clitoris.
she end up figuring it out, or did you end up having to?
She ended up stopping.
Okay, good.
And then just never returned.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
But I mean, it was kind of sad because there are days where I do wish that Lily would just walk through the door and I could see her again. It's been years. Like almost 10 years since I've seen her.
So, because of you asked that, I decided, Lily, come on out. I'm just kidding. It'd be hilarious.
That's what
Lily
we
just
got.
walked in
Honestly,
the
I
door.
would deeply
Right
enjoy
through.
that. Did
Lily
happen.
just walked in, and she's like, actually, I no longer have a wiener.
But he's one of those people.
I got rid of
Put it
it.
in a jar.
Actually, the only snake I have is the one you gave me. Yeah, that's the whole time I was thinking. I was like, now there's two snakes dueling down there.
Just fighting.
my
just
Yeah, they're just
slapping,
fighting each other.
crisscrossing.
It's like a little trouser snake versus a different. What kind of snake was it that you were putting on there? It was like a
It was just like a zombie snake. So
zombie snake. Okay,
it was like
Hell yeah.
zombie and like decayed and so that's why I was like, is
Yeah,
it, that's
actually,
why I was like,
yeah.
is this the death of your snake?
Yeah.
And she's
It's
like,
like
no.
what's it? Panic at the Disco, Death of a Bachelor. You know, the death of a manhood or something. Be interesting. I mean, that's an insane story.
Yeah.
That's awesome though. Like that Lily Bear. Butterfly. Lily Bear Butterfly came through. So Lily, if you're out there, reach out. We'll get you back in touch. The Lucky Raven.
I really would like to see her at one.
Yeah,
it's
see how
one of
she's
those people,
doing.
It's the characters you see years ago, and you're like, I wonder where they're at now.
Yeah, I actually had a story I was doing on stage where halfway through I have to transition from male pronouns to female pronouns. It gets real rough when you start to, because you're talking about one version of a person and then you get to, and if you don't give the context of the original gender, it's hard to get to the next or the born gender versus the actualized gender. So it can get real dicey real quick. I'm always like, listen, guys, you got to be real cool about this bit because I'm about to be confusing as hell. Follow me along this road.
I think it'd be a great story that you could tell on stage.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you might have to be a little bit careful about the dead snaking, but like,
Yeah.
Did you ever get to meet Lily? Probably not, right?
No.
no.
Are you worried that you might have some competition if Lily comes back into the fold?
No.
Lily might be like, hey, what's
I
up?
might be like, take him.
Yeah. Want to see my lily pad? Feeling froggy? Let's leap. I'm just kidding. All right, we're
I
done.
really hope she does.
Yeah, that'd be great. I mean, come back out, Lily. If you Lucky Raven, it's going to be on 200 North Main. North Main? My North Main. I'm like
Lily,
my brain.
where are you?
Lily,
We miss you.
where are you? And I'm so sorry. Didn't mean to name you tonight. Okay, we're done. Okay, I'm done. Sorry. I apologize. I'm sorry. Well, I was going to ask when we started the story before we got to the point where Bear became Lily Bear. I was going to ask you if you guys if maybe this was who you're talking about. I don't know if you guys
my
saw the
gosh.
recent arsonist Joseph Smith.
Yeah.
They actually
That was
caught
him.
him.
They caught him.
Alleged arson. I got to say alleged just in case because I don't want to be open
That
to
is
litigation.
terrifying
that.
to
It
think
is.
about.
It's scary.
Yeah.
It's scary. Downright like
Like, I am a
Scary.
big true crime fanatic. I will go to sleep watching
As all
that
women. I'm just
stuff. Yeah, as all of
They're
us
just
women.
planning, preparing themselves.
yes. For
And
war.
just thinking about that happening here in Kokomo, I was like,
Yeah.
what the
Are you
hell?
saying we're missing an opportunity at Kokomo Press to do like a true crime arsonist podcast, the Kokomo Arsonist?
I
We gotta
mean,
do it.
I mean,
you did follow like ASMR, got really close.
Yeah, got really close. Yeah. So he had one eye one way and one eye another. He always was one eye ahead of the authorities.
Never shall the two.
He saw them from around the corner.
I don't know. The nigga get caught 2 days later.
Yeah.
I
have an
did
eye
get
on
caught.
shit.
Well, it was over a woman. Over a woman is allegedly the reason. Is like I guess he got a. My joke
This
was like
is
he got in a
stupid.
fight with his girl and she's like, "You're a liar, pants on fire." She's like, "We're gonna see if I'm a pants on fire. I'll show you a fire."
We have actual friends that were affected by this.
Yeah.
Morgan, if you know him from, was he on the Jab? But or
Yeah.
Canary Currency.
right?
But
Luke.
Yeah. Friends of We Are Media.
Was it his car or his house?
His house was actually set on fire. They lost everything. So
Yeah.
like feeling for them.
Oh,
Feeling
yeah.
for the people that lost their cars and vehicles and stuff. Just because this dude had
So he just had like an argument with his girl, and he just like, I'm gonna burn the whole city down.
I don't
Yeah.
know. He should have kept a better eye on shit.
Like, what
and he
didn't you
wouldn't
just
have
burn
these
her
problems.
car down?
He's the better eye on him. Oh, I think he's only got that one better eye.
Look, he's really trying.
Yeah. He's trying to get that.
Just constantly chasing himself.
I normally don't like to body shame, but when somebody's an asshole, I don't have a
Fuck
problem
that
with
shit.
it.
I don't give a shit.
Yeah, that's my argument too. When somebody's a piece of shit, like I'm like, they're like, you dead named her, and I'm like, I don't give a shit if you're a piece of shit.
Yeah.
But it's like one of those things where it's like you got to kind of go after.
I
people.
would make fun of Shawn Michaels for his eye, but this guy has the same problem and fuck him.
He just did. You just did.
I did not.
It's not the disability, it's the
It's not
person.
the same.
He was like,
I'm sorry, I love
This
you.
was him. He was like, I'm just gonna keep using Shane's picture over and over again to drive me
I
crazy.
like it. It should be reoccurring.
Yeah, we'll just keep bringing it back on the show over and over and over again. One thing we did talk about, like with this new advent of technology and the, you've probably had a lot of different things happen into the technology community of like, you've had like there's been the laser, like that didn't used to be a thing. Like,
Not to the degree it is now, no.
did you guys hear about there's like laser barbers? Like that edge with lasers now, like down an edge.
Oh.
I was watching a video the other day and there was somebody doing it and I was like, I don't know if this is proper usage, but
But like laser leveling?
yeah, like so like if they're doing like a hard edge here, they'll like laser it down rather than cut it, just to try to keep it so it doesn't come back as quickly, and then you can like edge it forever.
Doesn't that burn the hair? Like,
Cut it right off. It might be a new version of a laser, I don't know. But it's like there's all these technologies, and eventually technology makes its way down to white women, and then you get something horrible like this. Sorry. I always have to throw shots at white women. It's one of those things. White women eventually get to the point where they have to. So the pen does more than right. So now we have the Benjamin is obviously I would say African American vernacular, like the AAV. Is that what they call it?
I mean, it doesn't have to come from black people.
I'm pretty
but
sure it does,
It probably
right?
came from, honestly, probably came from kids.
Yeah, kids. Black kids.
But-
Okay,
but-
we'll just say black
black
kids. Okay. Cool kids, black kids.
yeah.
But they come up with the word Benjamin, and then some white lady comes out and she's like, hey, actually, we're going to make our own Benjamin. Don't tell my hubby. I'm like, oh my God, this is
I just love
horrible.
that it comes in 8 separate colors, though.
Oh yeah, you got to be able to have your own vibe,
little variety.
I love that you can draw, and then you just all of a sudden like nobody's
Right.
gonna nonchalantly take off the top and. Yeah, so I was like, ugh, and you're still writing your grocery list.
Right.
That's where people complain how about vapes are centered towards kids, but you can't tell me that there isn't a kid like, it's my back to school pen.
Yeah, it's I just need it for back to school, Mom.
It's just for my test.
That's actually that thing down there. It's actually a woodwind instrument. It's not a vape. It's a
They make
woodwind.
It's my
these.
fidget spinner.
They make these in lots of different varieties. They have highlighters. They have all sorts of shit.
Yeah.
Like that. It literally is marketed towards school, back to school.
Yeah.
Office people.
Yeah. I was driving earlier. I picked up my son from church, and I was driving him back, and he looked on the ground and he saw this like disposable vape just on the ground. And he's like, is that a vape? I'm like, yeah. And he's like, they're just everywhere on the ground. And I'm like, yeah. When I was a kid, they were just cigarettes everywhere.
Yeah.
It's like now there's like plastic pieces of like metal plastic and like nicotine everywhere.
This is why I'm not converting.
Like I
Just a
don't
holding
smoke
stalwart.
nicotine. I don't smoke nicotine. I still have Courtney's old Mr. Fogg. I don't know why this is still here, but I just don't want it to end up in some like random like landfill somewhere. And it's like, that's the future of disposable everything,
I'm
as
just
he
waiting to see
says with his
pic-
cup.
Just waiting to see the video of the turtles with vapes, like Mr. Fogg shoving out their mouth. So like it won't be the straws anymore. It'll just be like a Mr. Fogg just all the way out.
This is my turtle Benjamin. That's it's coming. It's
Oh, for
eventually.
sure.
I mean, kids. We've got so much going on with it, with weed technology, with technology in general. We've talked a lot about AI,
Yeah.
and the things that's been going on with that, and how like basically people are using it to edit things now.
Yeah.
Is society ready?
It's getting crazy.
Really ready? We've had our okay, so. Bear with me on this one. Don't lose me. This is a real. I saw this and I was like, this is amazing. First ever in the history of Anna Victoria becomes world's first lawyer with Down syndrome. I'm like, congratulations, Anna.
Oh.
That's awesome.
I'm like, that's amazing. 20 years ago, could you have ever imagined a Victoria's Secret model, a lawyer? I mean, it could be a doctor soon. You could have anybody. And I love that our society's built in such a way that people of all different types can still thrive in
Yeah,
a
that's
lot
where
of ways.
I wouldn't like 10 years ago. I wouldn't have expected society to allow that to happen. Not
I
even their
know.
ability to do it, just that it wouldn't be like, no, she can't do that.
Yeah, it's an education problem.
for
It's
sure.
we've got to the point where we're like, okay, we can figure this out. Like people, there's no difference. It's just a difference in look and
Yeah, it's
learning
just to, like,
system.
allow them to try.
I thought this was amazing.
Yeah.
I'm very excited for where we're going as a society. I mean, the Victoria's Secret girl already got me one time. I was like, would. Okay, in the discussion, would. I mean, would. But at the same time, I'm like, this woman can take care of me. And so I'm looking more for like an Anna Victoria
Yeah,
type.
that's really, and I think us as parents that do have a kid that is nonverbal
Yeah.
autistic
Yeah.
and seeing stuff like this, it always makes me happy because
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
like, just seeing him struggle day to day. And when you do see those little bits of milestones,
The victories.
it's
Yeah.
the victories. Like it could be something so little, like he was saying we were doing a game today where he was just so lovey, and he's normally our one that's like, don't mess with me, I'm good. And he was just he kept going, dad, 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 dad. And I was like, no, mommy, 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 mommy. And I would like start tickling him. And then he finally would go, mommy. And I'm like, okay. And I was like, yay.
He's picking on you, it sounds like.
So you and Tyler were just like, say mommy. He's like, da-da.
And then as soon as I would like stop tickling him and I would turn away, he'd go, daddy, daddy, daddy,
Yeah.
daddy.
Oh, for sure.
He's definitely picking on you.
Like, okay, I know you can talk.
That's
you say
awesome.
mommy, but it's like those little things that you see. And
I grew up across the street from us. We had this young boy who was severely autistic, nonverbal. When he would get upset, he would scream, yell, throw a fit. And it was great. It was great watching over time. His dad got him into a really good school. His dad worked at Chrysler, got him into a really good school, and he would come back, and this guy was like, he's out there like mowing, and you watch the progression, like 20, 30 years ago, this might not have happened the same way, but this guy, his dad was so on top of everything. Like, I'm going to take care of my kid, make sure he gets everything he needs. And it's to the point where now, like, he's able to like completely function in society. Whereas when he was a teenager, he would fly off the handle and you'd have to like, oh, we got to call his dad and get his dad to let him know what's going on.
That too. My brother, Alex, he is autistic.
Yeah.
And growing up, I was like, man, why does he get, whatever he wants? And we're over here and we have to eat these green beans, but he's over there eating chicken nuggets, So becoming a parent of because at the time I didn't know. I just thought, why is he getting spoiled? And why is he just able, if he throws a fit, get what he wants, know? But like being a parent to a kid with autism now, I'm like, I get it. And I remember telling my mom, I was like, I am so sorry that I was so mean about it. Like, I get why you're doing it.
Yeah.
And I know when we got together, he was like kind of nervous about, because I said,
anybody would be, yeah.
Well, those were like, I wanted to be prepared and make sure that if I committed to the relationship, that I was going to commit to it.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, I'm not going to meet your kids and then be like, nah, this is too much for me.
Yeah, get me out of here.
Yeah.
It's not
and
nice.
like, and that's where like just learning, like we do have to make 2 meals a day.
Yeah.
Like Colton's not going to eat what we're going to eat. He is the high, like textures is a thing. He likes crunchy. So like if we make chicken tenders, he eats the breading all around the chicken. When originally, he used to eat the chicken. Now it's turned into he just eats the crunchy around it.
Yeah.
So it's like we have to do things differently than what most. And then like I've been also in situations where I've been out in public with him too, and he starts throwing a fit because I have to say, no, Bubby, we can't get that.
Yeah.
Right.
And he just starts screaming, and then the looks I will get, and I'm like, because he doesn't look like.
Yeah.
He looks like a normal kid.
People with autism look however. Yeah. There's not a look to
There's
him.
no look to it.
Yeah.
But people don't understand. So it's like just having to learn how to deal with that. But normally I tell people, I'm like, he's my easy child half the time.
He is the easiest of the 3.
Our oldest and our youngest, I want to throw them through a window.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He just kind of minds his business. Occasionally will make his room smell like a taco bar. It's fine.
I did. I came home one night and I was like, did you cook dinner, honey? She's like, no, Colton. I was like, oh, that makes sense.
How old is he?
He's 6.
He's 6 now.
Oh, gosh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he has one of his stems is dumping things. So it stimulates him, and he enjoys dumping anything that he can get his hands on.
Yeah.
So and I don't know how he was able to reach it. I was like, how is he getting our spices? They're up above the stove. Like, how is he getting them? I caught him. He would pull the oven door down, climb on top of the oven, pull down what he wanted, climb off, shut the oven door, and run off.
Oh, he covers his tracks.
Oh, yeah.
So then you never knew like how he was doing it until I caught him doing it, because I was like, how did you get the big old thing of taco seasoning?
What about that? Like, is he ever interested in like the kinetic sand stuff? Like you can.
He
Plays
loves
with
the
it, eats
kinetic
it.
sand. He'll eat it.
It's that's always great.
I'm like, quit eating it.
Can't get him to eat real food, but he'll
Hey, I said crunchy. You know what I mean? You got to go. I like crunchy. I like crunchy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's great. It's such a great. I mean, it kind of gives you perspective later on in life, especially when you've been around it, and kind of like as a kid when you have those kid eyes and you're looking at something, you're like, this isn't fair, because we all care about fair when we're kids, but then you get older and you realize the world isn't like we have to create fair for everybody in different ways, and sometimes fair is chicken nuggets and green beans, because we need you to do this and we need you to do this, and it's great perspective.
So it has taught me a lot.
Yeah. That's interesting. You were.
Well, I was going to say, one, like, I'm so thankful that we're in a society now that is more accepting and like observant of realizing that, maybe that isn't fair for you per se, but there's a whole lot that's not fair for them right now.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Over the weekend, we were at the opening for Outhouse Records.
Outhouse Records, Shout out to Outhouse Records.
Shout out.
It's a fun time. Actually, while you're saying that, let me pull this up. We have the newspaper article here, Geek Street's new shop. Dwarf Among Midgets dropped this. They did it was front page news for the Tribune, so that's
crazy.
great.
Oh,
I'm so
crazy.
happy for them. But our friends bought American Dream Hi-Fi downtown and turned it into Outhouse Records. So great.
Okay.
Yeah.
We were there for the grand opening, and we had Jordan and Brian. They hosted it. There was live bands and things like that. One of the openers,
Ace was there. All the kids were there. That was great.
One of the openers was just on our podcast last week. Actually, his name is Odd Unique, and his brother has some sort of autism or something. So his family was there. And it was nice because his brother was sitting outside because during the performance and everything, it's too loud.
Too stimulating.
Too loud.
Too much going on.
You could see the enjoyment that he was having as he could still hear his brother performing and stuff like that.
Here's a little clip from him. You can kind of see this is them on stage from behind. I had to call him out, so I was behind in the back. But here's a little. Yeah, it was a great time. I had such a great time watching them.
But I got to see a lot because, one, I spoke with his mom, and she was like, normally I'm the one that gets to watch, and Dad stays out here and hangs, but Dad wanted to be able to see Unique perform for the first time. So those parenting challenges that you go through when you have kids with autistic challenges or things like that, there's a whole lot. But like, I could totally understand where you're like, that one is a lot easier than some of these ones, because even my kids, I'm just like, bro, you don't have an issue.
Get over it.
Really, what is your problem?
Yeah.
Build a bridge and get over it right now.
Sometimes your problem is motivation.
Well, parenting is hard for everybody.
Absolutely.
Let's say that straight up. Unique challenges come up for every kid and every different thing. I recently had this came up in my things. I don't know if you guys know Rob Schneider.
I did see that.
He's apologized to his daughter, Elle King. Now, first off, I didn't know his daughter was Elle King. Did you guys know his daughter was Elle King?
Not until I saw her.
You know what I'm talking about? The X's and O's.
Yeah, I think I heard that at one time.
I had no idea, but I was like, holy shit.
I saw her interview where she was talking about it.
And I guess she came up. That was the interview that he was responding to, where apologizing for not being the father she needed. And I think Rob Schneider gets a lot of shit because of his political, views and kind of he's a right-wing guy. He's got a little, and he's had some really weird characters he's done over the years that nowadays, going to get canceled over, which
for sure.
No different than Robert Downey Jr. is no different than things that other people have done. So like, nowadays it would be such a big deal. But the one thing with him, I thought it was nice that he came out and publicly apologized, because she publicly called him out. He's like, I'll publicly apologize and say, I should have been a better dad. I should have been there for you more. And I think you get one shot at this. Oh, yeah. It's not, every day is another battle, but you get one shot at the sum of the parts. Yeah. You know what I mean? The whole thing. So like you hope that you're making the right decisions, but as a parent, typically you don't know you're making the wrong decisions till it's too late.
Because you're stuck in that, like, I want to make sure that they're raised right, but also like, don't want them to hate me.
Oh yeah.
Or mistreat them.
Yeah, it's a very rough situation. I like that he wasn't afraid to go out there and say, you know what, I wasn't as attentive of a father as I should have been, and I apologize. I want to make it up to you, and I hope they do rekindle. I mean, she's a very talented girl. I guess he sent her to fat camp. That was one of the things she was upset about. Which, I mean, she wouldn't be the first kid from 20 years ago to go to fat camp. I remember that existed. I went to a different camp. It was called Christian camp, like church camp. I went to that because there were a lot of fine women there. I always got girlfriends friends. I was like, I'm going to hang out with the ladies.
Oh my goodness.
Church camp was just hormone camp, you know. Just hormone
Shout out
therapy.
to Rob Schneider being a better dad than Karl Malone and Chris Benoit.
Hey, you just set the bar very low. Okay, that's a
So
very
did he.
okay. True. I will give you that. Yeah. I mean, I thought it was very interesting to see him come out, and I didn't know that was his daughter. So I was like, that's wild enough to me. I do want to go a little bit back because we did have the show. I want to kind of show some photos of me dressing up. This was me at the Outhouse show. I came out as Sharkeisha. Gordy took these photos. We were laughing so hard. But yeah, I came out and got stone cold stunned on stage.
I
It was
missed
pretty
that.
great. I know. I wish you would have saw it.
Oh, man.
I wanted you to stun me, but Brian was very happy. He did kick me in the nuts though. He was supposed to like do like a knee in the belly and bend over, and he accidentally kicked me in the nuts.
You gotta sell that bump too, man.
Oh, I sold it.
He goes to kick. You gotta. You
He
gotta
made me
position
sell it.
yourself so he doesn't kick you.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I tried, but like he went all the way for it. You know what I mean? I've done it. I've had enough stone cold stunners happen on me in life. I was like, I'm ready for this, and I explained it to him. Brian had a couple of drinks. If I'm being real, he was up there like, hey guys, what's up? Brian. Well, I was like, my buddy's been drinking. We were at Cooper's. We were doing kind of like a cross promotional. Cooper's was doing like a couple of drink specials for the show. They had the dwarf and they had the baby puncher, something stupid. They come up with a couple funny names just because like they're crazy. That's the kind of songs they do, is like crazy punk songs, comedy songs. And so they had a couple of great drinks that they had set up. I think I have it on here somewhere. I just have to go look for it.
Yeah, I have it here too.
Hell yeah. I'm gonna see if
I know we sent it, or it was in a thing.
It might just be in the group. I might delete. I've got so many pictures. Oh, there it is. But yeah, these are actually. They were like, she was like, I'm not gonna post this. I was like, I'll post it for you because it's funny. But it's just like a drink.
I love that the PBR is in the baby puncher.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, can you expect anything less?
Any rum, any tequila.
And yeah, it was great. They did it, and they did the two. And so we had a great cross promotional thing where we had people coming, basically getting drinks at Cooper's, getting food at Cooper's, and then coming down to the record store and watching the records, watching the record store opening. I did find a very specific picture. It's been making its rounds on social. You've probably been watching it this whole time. Like, he's going to bring this up to me.
waiting for it.
You've definitely seen it before. It's not. It's pretty. But I want to get your take on. Obviously, this is a mistake in planning, right? Because like one of these is supposed to be in a different place than the other. Yeah. So the love versus Lost versus Stove or Steve.
Oh, that's what that's supposed to mean.
Yeah.
Oh, it confused the shit
It's
out
supposed
I
to
was
be
sitting
love
here looking at
lost.
it for a minute, like, what is that? Okay.
Well, I've seen that, and I was just like, wait, what the fuck? Like,
So
I know it's fucked
the
up.
L is
but-
supposed to be in the middle, and it's supposed to go down. But they tried to put it over the heart, and I think the way they did it, they didn't. It's positioned wrong, meter
Is
wise.
the L supposed to go in the middle?
Well, yeah, because then the lost and so you're supposed to cut it the other way, kind of the other direction, because the VE and the ST are supposed to be on the same side.
Yeah.
I think this was just bad creative, bad planning.
My question though is like, what is the jam at the bottom of the L?
Yeah. There's like
Like, I'm not
ooze.
sure what that is.
She brought that in herself.
That was her creative addition to it.
I mean, in general, it's not very well executed. Not just the design, but also like the look of it. It just doesn't. Doesn't too much for me.
I've seen so many crazy ones. Like Tristen and I were talking one day about like the not safe for work tattoos.
Yeah.
Like the nudes, and then like some of them are honestly really well done, and then some of them are terrifying.
Oh yeah.
There's one I found, and it was like a traditional granny. I showed you that one. It was a surfer
I
granny.
walked in on that one, yes.
It's a surfer granny, but it's so well done. I can't even be mad about it.
Yeah.
But it's like full saggy, like banana titties are like flopping
Hell
behind
yeah.
her. She's got the surf, even down to like long labia flapping.
All right.
Well, if it's done well.
It's done very
then it's art.
well.
It's tastefully not tastefully done.
Like, I can't even argue with it artistically. Like, is it gross? Sure. Is it like mildly inappropriate?
Yeah.
Can I appreciate it artistically? Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Horrible subject, great execution.
Yeah.
It's kind of,
But
it
there
happens.
are so many of them.
Yeah, I mean, we had a guy I follow who is a very good tattoo artist, and I had it a while back on the show, and he misspelled something and didn't realize it till the end. That has to be probably, like, when you're designing things, you're probably like, if you're a good artist, you're probably like looking it up like 50 times, making sure.
Oh, yeah.
Especially if it's a word that you.
Oh, and I'm
maybe
like
don't.
slightly dyslexic too, so it's even more scary. Like I will continuously double check, and then I have the client check too. And if even they're like, yeah, it's good, I'm like, okay, you checked as well, my man.
Yeah,
I don't know
yeah.
what to do.
You're tattooing on Hall of Fame right now. That's what
Yeah,
you're telling
for
me.
sure.
Hall of Fame mode.
Like I'll be googling like,
Yeah,
how do I
like,
spell this.
Yeah, I mean, and I want to bring this up as well. You brought up Googling. That's kind of crazy. It's a crazy segue here. I was looking this up the other day, and this popped up, most popular browser. Did you guys see? Okay, so in 2012, which was the year the world was supposed to end, it didn't in December. This was the breakdown of most popular browsers. Internet Explorer had like all of North America, and even had some of like Australia, China, like, and then Mozilla, Firefox, of course, Chrome, and Opera. And then you look at now, and it's basically just Google's taking.
Google.
Are we at all afraid? Like, does that scare you? I mean, it scares me a little bit. I'm a little terrified by that.
Is this saying that Google's communist?
It's saying that within 10 years, we went from everybody used almost different. I mean, it was a nice mixture. There was some real competition.
I mean, some flashback to Internet Explorer. I remember the Internet Explorer.
Oh,
days.
yeah.
Yeah.
I remember, too. You were kind of stuck on that for a while because the screen would freeze.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Freeze.
Yeah. Yeah, I still use Internet. I actually use, Edge. I use Microsoft Edge more than anything, really.
Yeah.
I have to use Safari every now and then.
Yeah, that one as
Same.
well.
We have to use
What's there? Like I use.
the Firefox at work.
I don't use
Yeah.
Firefox anymore, but it used to be a real big one that I used. But Google kind of got better.
Yeah.
Google, yeah.
But there's been the big controversy right now with Google because they're like censoring political posts. Have you guys heard about this?
They're doing a lot of things.
I mean, I'm surprised.
Like apparently, I guess the big one is like if you, and I mean, regardless of political opinions, but the big ones is if like you were to look up like Donald Trump rally, it shows like Kamala in like news, like it'll show like Kamala's recent thing, like so like there's been some type of like tech oligarchy because like we live in a tech oligarchy now. Like we all know that, like we're all being controlled by the tech industry in one way or another, and we're kind of like okay with it a little bit because like we need them so bad. Yeah, we've accepted it.
No, we're not on our podcast.
No, we're still gonna talk shit, which is what we're doing right now. I'm Alex Jones. Yeah, no, I'm just kidding. I always turn it around. The frogs are gay. Ribbit. Yeah. Lily's back. Lily Pad's back. Lily Bear. I'm just kidding.
The browsers are trans.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
It's
Even
that.
the Google's turning the browsers trans. There we go. Is that better? That works. Yeah. But I mean, as far as like, it's scary to me because I'm like, if now everybody's using them, they can kind of control the flow of information, what pops up in certain search feeds. Maybe they tricked you into misspelling a tattoo. Maybe you were trying to do stuff.
And it's just so crazy too. Like nowadays, like everybody needs the internet. If you're gonna make a business go, you need the internet. But then you always have those trolls that are gonna sneak in there and try to. So it's like it's crazy. Yeah,
you almost have to do PR for yourself all the time because you know.
I mean, we did a giveaway.
Yeah.
And that was I was trying to do this nice giveaway for the community. We wanted to do something nice for everybody. And of course, we got that one troll that started posting and people were going and clicking that link and putting their card informations in. And I was we did not ask for a card information. Do not do that.
They got a couple people.
It sucks. You have to play defense before, like you're just trying to make a post and now you have to play defense against.
Yeah, like you have to be careful on what you say. And that's where I was like, made it very clear in the post, like, we're not asking for anybody's information. No card information. We just want your name and tag somebody.
Yeah.
That's it.
We are
like
not
our page. Like do not do anything else. And so then we had to make another video and another post. It's like, please do not trust this scam. Because I was doing my best. Every time I seen it pop up, I would click it and delete it.
Yeah.
But it was like, it happened so much.
Yeah, it happened. I mean, we when we do like, we have tickets available for our show. Somebody will be like, oh, I got tickets already and I can't go. Message me and I'll sell them to you. And I'm like, do not fall for that.
No.
Yeah.
That is not real.
No.
If you have not talked to me, nobody's reselling their tickets. They're just going to contact me and say, hey, I can't come. Can I get my refund? And I'll give it back to them. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Like, it's not that. But, like, you have that. And, I mean, I brought up earlier about that thing with Dustin. Somebody hacked on it or created a fake Facebook, tagged all of his friends, and then said, buy this shirt. And then people tried to buy the shirt, and then, boom, they're just getting scammed.
I got tagged or something in a post just recently about some credit or some bullshit, and then like people were like going like being contacted by this dude that tagged him, and he was asking him for money and all sorts of shit. And it made it look like I helped this guy and some shit.
And you had nothing to do with it.
No, like what the fuck,
Nothing.
bro?
It's scary. I mean, it's hard because we need the internet. Like you said, we need the internet to work in a modern business setting, in a modern like landscape of life. You just need it. But at the same time, like stupid. Like, okay, so we talked a little bit about AI. This happened the other day. I don't know if you guys saw this, but the We Care page, the Kokomo We Care page was removed for not following community standards or impersonation on Facebook. So the AI flagged the We Care group as if they're not real. And then I shared it, here it is. I shared it to our page to let people know what happened, and then I got my post removed, and I got a community strike for sharing that they lost their page. So there's something going on with the random AI of Facebook that we didn't get any like real like strikes. When I say community strike, I mean it's just if you get so many of these, we've been good for a while. The last time we had one was I think Brian posted a picture of a guy and he didn't like that. He posted the picture of him, and usually if you just ask us, we'll delete it. Like because a lot of the photos like busted newspaper, those are per public use. Like you're allowed to use whatever you want. But if like it's you and you're like, hey, please don't make that joke about me, we'll take it down. We've done it before.
Sometimes
one of our biggest. Yeah, unless you're an asshole about it.
Maybe
Like,
we'll just double down.
Then we'll just be like, oh, we'll use all your photos.
Yeah. Can't wait till Chris Sutton gets arrested.
You guys don't have to jump in that if you don't want to.
No, you don't have to at all.
I saw him and Jeff Arwood going back and forth. I guess he got blocked from that page. The Kokomo in the Know 2.0. You guys heard of them? Yeah, that's run by a guy. At least the last thing we knew, allegedly, it's run by a guy who's a tow truck guy that Sutton's towing, Chris Sutton. And he for a long time, I'm pretty sure Jeff worked with him, and then they broke up in some way, and then he blocked him, and there's just been back and forth. It's crazy how much drama you can. I mean, we need the social media, we need the technology, but it's also like the bane of existence.
We don't need pedophiles.
We don't need pedophiles.
Yeah.
We don't need them. That is absolutely true. And speaking of that, did you see this?
Sorry.
This is no. I'll segue. 52-year-old woman marries her adopted 22-year son after 15 years of being his mother. What do you guys think about this? They look like they're meant to be. If I look at it, they're the weirdest looking couple.
I can't.
They both look like claymation people.
Don't they? They look like very Italian. They look very Italian.
No.
This is what happens when your go-to sub-porn category becomes your real life.
Like
This is first
stepmom.
world problems.
Yeah, this is definitely first world problems. They don't, like, obviously she's not his biological mother. So let's start there.
I mean, sure.
But you raised him
But
like
you raised
you
him.
raised him like your son.
Why do they favor so much, though? Like, is this like a dog situation? How, like, your dog starts to look like you, or you start to look like your dog? But...
Yeah, they do kind of look alike.
Yeah.
I think they have the same plastic surgery, it looks like. Because there's definitely some plastic surgery stuff going on here, I'm pretty sure.
I mean, them and the dude that killed Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
What?
I mean, and his dentist, apparently. Yeah, his dentist. But very weird, bizarre
very
story.
weird.
I mean, you hear this typically on the other end, and like Woody Allen, you know what I mean? Allegedly, but also real. But like that happened when he adopted his daughter, and then now they're married and shit, and that's so weird. And then you find out, I mean, these people haven't given us any great movies. You know what I mean?
No, you've not garnished any actual favors in this.
We're not
just like, what country are they from?
They do look.
That's what
They
I'm
look
wondering.
very
They're
Italian, but they look very Italian, but it's a very American story.
It's a beautiful American story about a
The
family.
beautiful American.
Shout out Jerry Perp Drink.
Yeah, Jerry Perp. That's not a real person, but look at him up there. That's my guy right there. Look at him. He's just chilling, dude. Let's go.
I want
Let's
to
talk
believe
about
he is a real person.
Yeah,
he
he's
really
real.
enjoyed posting that.
Yeah.
He's like, this is real. It might not even be real. Maybe
he's
it's
verified.
It'd be funny if you found out it was
What
just
if
like a
it's all
mother and
AI?
son, or a mother and she's getting married, and it's all a lie, and I just fell for it. I'm okay.
Yeah.
Well, did you hear about the controversy with Arthur and his plastic surgery history? Everybody's been talking about. This is like the Arthur changed. Like, when did Arthur change? And people were saying he got a nose job and he got skin bleaching, and they're like, Arthur changed up. Can you believe this?
Is this how you're gonna feel when people start calling out Sharkeisha?
Oh, they're never gonna call her Sharkeisha. She don't give a damn.
No, she's evolved.
Yeah, she is.
She's evolved. I mean,
She's gotten skinnier
Yeah.
because I've lost weight. I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
I was like, I still have enough belly that it stuck out and it looked a little funny. I was like, that's good.
The hair looked a little bit longer and healthier.
Darker. I always try to change the hair up, but I never go too crazy. You know, she's not like a
I
crazy.
feel like she's maturing at this point.
Yeah, exactly.
Gracefully.
Well, you become older if you look like that. You're going to need to become a biker chick, so that's where the dark hair comes.
I get that.
The real evolution of Arthur, though, is the fist.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the memes too, dude. Like the Arthur's memes have been. It's like
He's a meme staple.
Oh yeah. I think, and this is going to sound horrible. Kill me for this. I know you're going to. But Arthur is on PBS.
Yeah.
Which is public broadcast. Anybody can get that.
Yeah.
SpongeBob is also one of the. It's like, what is it about SpongeBob and Arthur that all the memes come from those two places? Is it? Can we all?
I don't know, but somewhere Wishbone is like, I almost had it.
Yeah. Reedy Rainbow, any of those. Like,
So close.
oh man, what's the bunny do? Buster.
Buster,
Yeah.
He was a Buster.
He's bussin'. They changed his name to Bussin'.
Bussin'?
Bussin'.
SpongeBob and Arthur, though, it's like we can all admit that their shows are just fever dreams.
Oh yeah, they're not real.
No.
Not at all. No.
That was literally just noise so I could finish my homework. And like,
But it seeped in and became a meme
absolutely.
culture.
Absolutely.
What I was trying to get there is like they're both very, very prevalent in the black culture. Have you noticed?
Oh,
like
is it just
SpongeBob?
you think
and-
so?
I think that's where most really good meme formats come from is black culture.
Well, yeah, Black
goofing.
Twitter, like, you know what I mean?
absolutely.
Yeah, it's a thing.
And then white people are like, I'll take that.
Yeah, much like lots of things.
Rock music or rap music or anything else.
If it's good, we'll take it.
I keep waiting for you to come up with something good so I can
Manifest
take it from you. I'm like, yes. Yeah,
We're just over
manifest
here just
destiny.
colonizing everything.
Yeah, we are. We just can't
I
help
mean, you
it.
produced it. We liked it.
We must colonize.
Yeah.
Did you guys watch did you guys watch or pay attention to any of this stuff on X with Elon and Trump? Did you guys see that shit? That was wild. I went ahead and you can see my PFPs on there.
I will say that is why I had Twitter for the longest time, was just to follow Donald Trump.
Yeah, to see what the hell
I just want to see what he's posting every day.
It's like it's very important. But I went on there and all these people, it's all the worst people. And me. I'm right there, straight eating ass right there. That's my face. I'm right there. Straight eating ass is my name. It took forever for the lady from Z925 to realize that. She kept like subtweeting me and I'm like, hell yeah. She doesn't know that she's subtweeting straight eating ass for a while. But yeah, I tuned in and it was literally just Trump the entire time being like, yeah, I almost got shot. It was crazy. I almost got shot. It was like him just talking about
you fully
getting
got shot, sir.
Yeah.
Like a piece of your ear is gone.
It's gone. Yeah, it's something. Were you concerned? You seemed like you were worried. Nicole was like, I cannot believe it.
We had a big discussion on that
Yeah?
because he was like, you were saying like, oh, it was staged. There's no way he could have
I'm just saying,
missed.
like, the kid a year before could not even get onto his high school shooting team.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, like, he's making arguably
real?
an
I didn't know
extremely
that.
Oh, yeah. Like, he tried out for his high school rifle team, and he couldn't hit the target.
No.
And then we're flash forwarding like a year or so later, and he's missing a shot.
Well, you've heard the...
10,000
millimeters.
hours, man.
but he
10,000
killed
hours.
somebody.
We're not arguing that it was a good thing. Like,
No.
It was
So
a
that's what I'm
terrible
saying.
thing.
Like he missed him,
but
Yeah.
nicked
barely.
his ear.
But
Yeah.
barely.
Yeah.
So
I mean, he got him. He didn't miss him. He just didn't hit him where he wanted to.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, that's the thing. He did actually get the guy. I mean, at the end of the day, it's a complete failure in the Secret Service, and it's a failure. But have you heard the part where they're like, hey, they pinged a cell phone of him meeting with a person that was going back and forth between the FBI and him.
Oh, I
They
believe
pinged
it.
that.
Oh.
So you start to wonder, like, what the hell is going on out here?
Yeah.
Man? Is this like a high level chess game that these politicians are playing that we don't even know about? Like,
Because it's
they're-
either that or they 100% were dropping the ball.
Oh yeah.
Because, like, you gotta think, most of those rallies, yeah, okay, it was a different building. It wasn't, like, right inside the rally, but
Well, the fact that this was open air.
Yeah.
Like,
like, you check
lot of
everything.
ways.
Like, you didn't check the only other closest building to where the stage is.
And he was on their radar, apparently. They saw him with a viewfinder. There was a bunch of weird shit that happened
Yeah.
on that. I mean, it was a very bizarre situation, and it is weird how our news cycle kind of just...
I'm just saying, JFK did not shoot himself.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe he did.
I don't know. We could conspiracy theorist this a lot because, I mean, it was major news cycle and then, somebody quit something and then it's not major news cycle anymore. And it's a lot of things.
It's been a bizarre... This is probably the most bizarre election. I thought 2020 was the most bizarre election, but this might be the most bizarre election.
You think they're going to get weirder?
I mean, I think it only gets weirder from here.
It has to.
Yeah, it has to. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they all have to like upstage each other over and over and over again. I mean, that's been the conversation about Kamala and the taxes or the tips on
no tips on tax or no
taxes on tips.
No taxes on tips. Yeah,
just the tip, whatever she said. And so like with that whole situation, like she was the deciding vote to go after people who were tipped and try to get their money in the Congress. They had a 50-50 split, and she's as the vice president was the deciding vote. And then now she's coming out saying this, and then there's been she was going to take taxes out of them just like Trump. And then there was the argument with $25,000 for new home owners. Did you guys hear about that? Like the $25,000 government grant to buy your first home.
Which would be great.
Which is great, but then everybody, the joke backwards, like, houses just became $25,000 more expensive.
Exactly.
That's how these systems work.
Exactly.
I mean, essentially, yeah.
Yeah, it's the same as the healthcare system. It's like until you have to root out everything and basically clean out all that infection before you can just come up with something cool. And the problem is it's already metastasized to the point like these systems are already destroyed.
It's broken. Yeah, I mean, you can't remove human greed.
No.
And until you do that, you can't fix anything. We're just putting band-aids on the gunshot wounds until you can get up and move.
1,000%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, are you our only non-European in here? Did you ever live in Europe? We're all Europeans in here.
Nope.
Have you ever been out of the country?
Greece.
Greece?
Yeah.
Ooh, how was
When he
that?
took me to Greece.
Oh, look at
Greece were
that.
proposed.
You proposed? Okay. I mean, I'm missing stuff. I guess I
it
missed some
happened.
stuff.
No.
I think I probably did react to this for a while back.
This dude has major Riz.
I know. My son just got a shirt that says Riz. Did you know what Riz? Do you know where the word Riz comes from?
Jizz.
No.
Oh.
That's
That's what we all think of, right? But do you know actually what it comes from? And then when I say it, you're going to be like, of course. I'm so stupid. But Riz is
Rizzler, isn't it?
well, it's these kids nowadays. All their words are just broken down. Other words broken down to one thing. So charisma.
Oh yeah,
Okay, well, that makes sense.
I knew that.
You didn't know. Don't try to fucking. Look at him.
I heard
over
it
here.
before.
He's changing history already. I heard that. I actually do. No, but I mean the Riz. I mean that's great. You took her to Greece. I went to Fort Lauderdale. I was like, that's the Greece of America. But no, I love that.
No, we did Greece 2 years ago. Yeah, 2020.
You got down on one knee.
I did.
Did he have a great speech? Or was it just like, please just say
It was
right now?
very.
started
I will
as-
Say yes
say
or
it
I'll
was
cry.
very
Yeah.
romantic, and I almost messed it up.
Oh.
I did because it was. He already had the day planned. He already had the restaurant, and it was going to look over the Acropolis. Like it was on a rooftop restaurant. It was and I was like, "Can we just go tonight?" Like I don't want to wait till the very end. Like the last day, I kind of want to just be able to walk around and see last minute things and then just relax before we have to get on a flight.
Yeah.
Now, granted, I had been on a wait list for this restaurant for 6 months.
I did not know.
You did not know this.
But I was like, can we just do it tonight? So then our last night, it can be relaxing.
Yeah.
We don't have to worry about anything. And so he was like, I guess frantically as I'm laying out by the pool, not thinking anything.
Oh yeah, like
Was
I'm on
calling
the phone.
this restaurant.
Like, is there any way? I'll take a bar at this point.
Yeah.
Right.
Anything you can give me.
And we just happened to get lucky. They had one table cancel that morning. I was like, I will take it.
Yeah, give it to me now.
And they even, like, we went in, we sat down, and we were kind of inside of the restaurant. And she went, no. Like, they need to be on that side. And they put us on the outside corner where I was looking over and got to see everything with
So
the
you told
lights.
them, you cleared it with them like, I'm
Well, yeah,
going
because
to-
they asked, like, is there any events or anything special? I was like, well, I'm going to propose.
Oh, shit.
So yeah, so they moved us all the way out to where you
And
could
there
see
were, like,
the entire
swings
city.
on this roof.
Oh wow.
So, I mean, it was so pretty. And
Wow, you were this close to fucking up your own engagement.
I
what the
was.
hell?
I
dude?
was.
Women just don't know what we do. Like this guy's put in the work.
Oh yeah.
You got him sweating
When it was
in
the scary
Greece.
thing too is like,
know.
like we had talked about, we had our venue booked for the wedding. Like we knew we were going to get married. It's
Yeah.
just the doing it part.
Yeah.
Okay, so like I'm 99.9% sure if I ask her, she's going to say yes. But there's that little piece of fear that she'll say, what if she says no?
Yeah.
So I start asking, she's like, oh, wait. And I'm like, oh, no, don't do that.
Yeah, you
Don't
can't.
do that.
Once it starts,
She's like,
you have to-
here? I was like, yeah. She's like, okay. But the oh, wait for me in my head lasted 3 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it probably your whole entire life. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Granted, it was like a millisecond.
There's always something that happens. Like I ended up proposing by the pool in Fort Lauderdale, and I was supposed to do it at the beach. But I took her out to dinner, and then when I was going to go on like a night, like a sunset walk on the beach. So I get I think it was like an Uber Black or whatever. We're like, I'm gonna go. We didn't have a car down there, and we get in the car, and the lady she hits her vape before she gets in, and I didn't know she was an Asian lady, and she freaked out that she hit her vape before we got in. Was saying she hit it in the car, kicked us out of the car on the way. So now we're like walking to a Burger King to get another Uber. Like I was like, I'm switching to fucking Lyft at this point. I switched to Lyft, and I was like, and then I just like at that point. We had waited so long between cars and had to deal and walk, and that the timing got completely destroyed. So I just asked her by the pool, and I was like, "Man, it's horrible when you have a plan." Because I was like trying to go to like a nice. We had earlier that day we went down to the beach earlier, and and there was a beautiful like little like bar that was like in the wooded area by the beach. It was like great. I was like, I could have fucking asked there if I didn't know. And this lady was gonna kick us out. She was like, "Get out of my car!" She was yelling at me, dude. It was crazy.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not even trying to do a mean accent. I was literally, she's like, "Get out of my car, you vape." And I go, "I'm not vaping." And she would say, I smell. And I'm like, the vape didn't have a smell. She uses like the views.
Yeah.
Her taste is tobacco. She's that into it. She's that into nicotine and tobacco that her taste is tobacco. So she can blow that in my face and I won't smell anything.
Sure.
And I've got a really strong sense of smell. So it was just such a bizarre. So we were like walking in the middle of like a place we're not from. Like, what the hell are we doing? Sketchy. Let's find some place. Ended up at a Burger King.
It's all good love stories.
Home with the Whopper.
I want to be your king. Here's your crown.
Have it your way.
It was, but it's great that you were able to make that work because that's
was really
probably terrifying in the moment.
It was, and especially when I was like, I had all this planned, and I was like, dang it. And same thing too is like I wasn't able to use the engagement ring I wanted to. Oh. It wasn't ready in time, and it was one of those like I'm trying to coordinate things to make sure it's done before we leave, and I could pack up my bag, and it wasn't. So I used my mom's wedding ring.
It's so much pressure, isn't it?
Oh, it's so much.
It's like that's probably the hardest thing. I mean, you did it as well. Right?
Yeah.
I mean,
I didn't have a fancy thing. I just asked her.
Here, leave me alone. I'm going back to my. I'm just kidding.
It was like that actually.
My buddy had a whole plan, and then one night he's like, I'm sick of not being engaged to her, so he ended up just asking her at home one night, and it's great. I mean, I love that you're in Greece, went to Fort Lauderdale, you're like, here, take the fucking ring. I love it. We all have the different stages of I'm just kidding. Yeah. I know you didn't do that. I'm just playing. Were you in bed, right? You're like,
yeah.
In bed. That's sweet. That's sweet.
Seems
I love
romantic.
it. I love it. Mine was by a pool, and I was like, here, leave me alone.
Ding, 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 ding.
Ding, 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 ding. It's down there. We're frogs like jumping in the pool. We were like staring at the frogs.
Have you seen those
jumping in the
videos
pool.
when people do drop those rings like in places you can't get?
Shit.
Like
And
you're on the
done.
dock and it
Oh,
drops
yeah.
in between, and you're like, you're never gonna get that back.
Yeah.
Well, this is going to be it. That's it. That's all we're going to do. We're no longer getting married because this is an omen, and I'm done. Yeah, I leave.
All
I'm
done.
quitting.
Yeah, so
That
one
is
where
the
a
sign.
bird stole it. Like he was getting ready to give it a bird. Flew off with it. And I'm like,
Okay, all right.
there it goes.
And then you just walk the rest of the way off the cliff at that point. Especially if you spend a pretty penny on the rings. Those rings aren't cheap. I mean, there's so much that goes into it. It is probably. It's like, this is what we do. Like, it's like the big game for us. Like, we've got to.
Like this is our big thing.
Yeah, it's like, and then after that, it's like the wedding shores leave us alone.
Exactly.
That's where I think I'm so heartbroken about my diamond missing.
I know.
Oh, no.
It's so sad too because
Yeah.
I was like, I just started crying because I'm like, what? I didn't feel it snag. I didn't feel it do anything.
Nothing.
Like, and we looked everywhere, and I'm just like, it's gone. It's
So then,
gone.
like I missed her fixer, so I was like, I'll just get hold of Uncle Brad. We'll get it fixed. She's like, but it's not the stone I got married in. I was like, it's not.
It's not.
No,
There is
can't
nothing I can do
find
about that.
Well, they say diamonds are forever, and in your case,
Nope. I even was checking my dog's poop. Like I was doing everything
Just
trying to
freaking minutes
find this diamond.
oh man.
And I have
mean,
such a sensitive nose right
I was like,
now.
even I drew the line at that. You were like, did you check Iris's poop? Like, I'm not doing.
He
that.
said, I'm not doing that.
I'm
I
not
was
doing
like,
that.
listen, at this point, it's your job.
like,
I believe in you. You can handle it.
so I'm over there covering my nose, just trying to be like, it was awful.
Yeah, and it wasn't even in there, which is the worst
It
part.
wasn't.
No.
I hope like one day you guys are like doing something and it just pops.
It just
up.
pops up.
Like every day I check the dryer when I take the lint stuff out and just shake it, just hoping one of these days
Hoping
it will
it'll-
just ding, ding, ding.
You're gonna
down.
find it in one of the spices.
Yeah.
Like,
Colt's put it in
oh,
there.
our boy
Or just
found
find
it.
it like in Colton's rooms on the floor.
Say,
Comes out of the salt randomly.
just,
That's hilarious. I mean, if you, there's just something that you could do for her, just did you see this? Mark Zuckerberg unveils giant statue of his wife, Priscilla Chan. Husbands everywhere are shaking, apparently. Are you shaking? I'm not shaking.
I'm not shaking.
shaking.
Apparently he got this big statue set up for her. She just gets to go out and stare. I feel like at this point, like, I don't think that's kind of, I don't know. It's too much, right? That's almost like
You already know how I feel about statues.
I don't.
I kind of want to know how you feel about statues.
Oh, we know.
Yeah.
I put one in your yard. It's actually George Washington. Threw it down.
Yeah, I don't think I would want a statue of myself.
No. What if it was done really well?
No.
No.
I want
No.
a statue of ODB.
Well, you need one with your American flag, Wu-Tang.
Yeah.
Wu-Tang American flag. You have to have a yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it says on it. Yeah, 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 yeah. I'm just kidding. I love it, dude. My favorite, I always just think of him with Mariah Carey. I don't know why that one always pops in my head. Me and Mariah, we go together like babies and pacifiers. He's just like, I'm just going to say whatever I want right here.
That was his hit, man.
Yeah.
She gave him that chance.
Jimmy Iovine put him on.
I did find this for you, Belle. I wanted to ask you how you felt about Rob Zombie. Looks like the ghost of Macho Man Randy Savage.
He really does.
Oh my God.
He really does. It makes me feel like he's gonna snap into a moldy Slim Jim.
Yeah, he's going to snap into
Moldy.
something.
I don't know. Rob Zombie for me has just become a cult. Like he almost like he's like a folk tale now.
Yeah.
Like I know he exists. I know he does.
But does he?
But does he? Is he a cryptid wearing a human skin flesh?
Yeah, at this point, he might be one of those lizard people.
He's a skinwalker.
Oh, for sure.
I love that you said cryptid, like the Mothman or something.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's not
Yeah.
a real thing anymore.
No. He's a caricature of himself.
It's much like Ozzy Osbourne.
It's funny because I remember being a kid and my stepdad was like kind of like a rocker, dude. So like he had the old White Zombie's the name of the album. And I remember looking at that art. There was like tits on it, and it was like just gory, and I'd never seen anything like that before in my whole life. I'm maybe in like second grade.
Oh God.
And I'm looking at this thing like, what? Like it was,
Tits and blood.
and it was like we had like a nice system, like CD system. So I remember putting it in and listening to it and being like, it sounds like it looks like it does. Like it. I mean, it's right on the money.
The voice of the devil.
Yeah. It's. I mean, it's an insane. Just them. I just remember being like somebody being like, "This is if you listen to it, it's the devil." Like you're listening to the devil music. That's the devil.
It's in the same stage as when people are like, if you play that backwards.
Oh yeah, yeah. I was a little young for the record players, but I remember hearing like if you play like Black Sabbath backwards, you're gonna hear. But now record players are making a comeback.
Yeah, they are in record stores, and
You know what they said? Don't call it a comeback, but they've been there for years. I do have a couple things I want to throw up before we wrap this up because we are over an hour and a half right now. But the low-cost clinic to spay and neuter your pets is coming to Kokomo on Monday, September 23rd at the Kokomo Humane Society. That's 729 East Hoffer Street. Set up your appointments now. Yeah, there it is. You can visit www.lowcostpayneuterindiana.org to complete an online submission, and that'll start the appointment process. And then they also will do vaccines if you're doing other things. So check them out for that. You can even bring, if you have feral cats in your neighborhood, you can bring up to 2 of those per day.
that's
So
actually legit.
wow.
That's how we got our dog fix.
Yeah.
I think we still end up going down to like Noblesville or something.
That's where we did
where
our
they had it.
Yeah,
but
we did it down there.
Yeah, I think we're talking about it too. Also, I saw this one as well. This is September 27th. This is the Bigfoot Conference. It's the first annual Indiana Bigfoot Conference. It's September 27th and 28th. It's going to be like a town hall situation from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. in Nashville, Indiana. Look this up. This looks crazy and fun, and I'm excited. I think the Kokomo Press might go out and try to cover this in some way because this is, it's the first ever.
Are we asking people how they feel about the titty slide?
Yeah, we need to know about the titty slide. That's the most important thing.
That's the most
Nashville,
important.
Indiana. It's not very far from here. I think, isn't that where they do they do Hippie Fest there?
I know. Nashville's really not far at all.
Yeah, it's
Nashville,
not-
it's
Yeah, you've messed around with Hippie Fest before, haven't you? Mm-hmm. Yeah, back in the day. I don't think I've ever
was
been
fun.
there. It was the same week as another festival, maybe the Tipton Pork Festival or something. It was always
Yes.
the same week as something else. But yeah, this is exciting.
I kind of want to go because I want to go to the speakers.
Oh yeah, the speakers seem like they're going to be fun. I just want to hear there's Sasquatch Man, Greg Yost. I'm excited to see
Here's
him.
the question though, and this is probably going to upset a few people: is Bigfooters and flat earthers the same group of people? Like, do you think they congregate in the same?
Like on the Venn diagram of
Do they overlap?
Yeah.
I mean, it's probably the same people that believe Rob Zombie's a cryptid. I'm just kidding. It's you. It's you. And I'm just kidding.
I mean, have you listened to a flat earther though, and at the end of it, you're like, is it flat though?
Hold on. Are they right? Is there really an ice barrier? Like, there's
Because
so
I mean,
many.
I've had a client where I talked to him for like 3 hours, and by the end of it, I genuinely was like, Like, I know the Earth is round. I know it is. But there's a part of me that could question that.
Yeah, like I've been on planes.
Like, I've not been to
enough.
Antarctica. I've not
That's
been to
true.
the wall.
I've met somebody that's been to Antarctica. She twerked there. She was like, I twerked in Antarctica. And I was like, it's pretty cool.
Well, cool.
Went to school with her.
God damn.
Her name is Ebony. Yeah. I always called myself Ivory. We were good friends.
Shut the fuck up.
She spells Ebony E-Bone.
E-Bone.
That's how her dad spelled it. So
E-Bone.
E-Bone. Yeah, yeah. But anyway, I mean, I love the fact that at least we live in a world where we can all like, believe things that are insane like that and find a community. Like it's a negative, but it's also a positive.
I mean, I know Kyrie Irving is crazy, but like, I do believe his shit, and he plays good basketball.
He is a good basketball player. That's an absolute truth. He is very, very good. But let me go ahead and hit these before we head out today. First off, Lucky Raven Tattoo. Do not forget that. Lucky Raven Tattoo Lounge. They're moving to 200 North Main Street. There's going to be a tentative grand opening on September 6th. So that'll be even before these other things. So come out to that. It's going to be a great night. They're going to be open 6 days a week, 10 to 7, and closed on Sundays. So go check out that large building. It used to be Pizza Co., the Pizza Co., and now you can go in there and get a tattoo that's going to be badass. Especially, I mean, you do portraits like insanely good.
Thank you.
And you said you've rounded out your group with people that have a lot of different expertise.
No, yeah, we cover just about everything at this
Yeah,
point.
and before the baby comes, and even maybe a little bit after the baby comes, you can come in, see Nicole, and see how she's doing. She's going to be in there dealing with that,
Wobbling
around, just ducking. And then, of course, just in case you missed the beginning of the podcast, we do have our next show for the Kokomo Press Battle of the Towers. That'll be September 13th. So that next weekend. So the first weekend, you're going to go out and you're going to go try to get a tattoo, go to the grand openings, check out what they're doing out at Lucky Raven Tattoo Lounge. And then the next weekend, on that Friday, you're going to come out September 13th. Friday the 13th. It's going to be super spooky. And we're going to do some comedy at the Gas City Brewing Company. I keep wanting to call them the River Rock Brewing Company because that's what they originally wanted to be called. And they lost out of the name.
Should I dress like a ghost for this show?
Not again. Okay. The last time you dressed up like a ghost, it wasn't a ghost.
It was not.
No.
It was.
You went on stage and said Oogie Boogie, and I'm like, I'm getting out of here. I can't be a part of this. I'm just kidding. It was very, very funny. He did. He did.
I was gonna say, how far did you commit and which area did you commit in?
Oh no, I went full tilt.
On stage wearing the full.
Did I ever tell you about the time that Brent wanted to do that with me?
Oh my God.
So if Brent
he
did it
wanted
with
to-
me, I
he
feel
wanted-
more comfortable
Oh
doing
my
it.
Brent would do it. Ask him. He'll do it for sure.
Okay, all right, cool.
I
thing
am a
is, though,
man of constant sorrow.
Well, like, I mean, I was down to do it, but he wanted to be in the full robe and then have me be the opposite
handler.
end of it.
Yeah.
And I was like, he's like, I'm just getting my reparations back.
Yeah.
I was like, we're friends. I can give that to you, I guess.
He and I have these talks all the time. So.
When
Yeah.
it comes to them two, getting Brent and him together, I'm over there going, no,
Don't do it.
no, it's
Well,
a bad idea.
Brant came out for the first time ever to our open mic this last Thursday and actually
did he?
came out and listened to stuff. And this is insane. One of our bartenders came up and was like, "Is that your brother?" to him, like ask him about, "Is
we
that
get
your
it
brother?"
Every day.
Every day.
No. There's a twist.
Yeah.
Tell the
there's a
twist. Tell
to
the
this one.
twist.
So we talked about Odd Unique at the Outhouse Radio or Outhouse Record Store grand opening, and he performed. Odd Unique was also there at the comedy open mic as well, and she was talking about him. She thought Odd Unique was my brother.
Yeah,
right
which is
here.
hilarious because like the most insane part is like we thought she was talking about Brent, so we're like, oh, he gets that all the time. No, you're talking about the other brother.
Yeah.
It was like all these Drakes in the room.
my
all these,
gosh.
but you got Brent, you've got Anika, you got some great people. We had it was a really good show this last week. But apparently, every light skinned guy looks alike.
Yeah, we all look alike. It took me a while, but I had to ask her. I was like, were you talking about me and Brent? Or
On
were
stage, you brought it up on stage.
Yeah,
like
I saved it.
It was hilarious.
Oh my God.
It was like the whole thing was. It was such like a testament to the fact that we all thought we knew one thing,
Right.
Yeah.
But it was actually the other guy, and so it ended up being so funny, dude. And it was like every light skin looks alike. Apparently, I don't know. You guys all have the same dad, apparently.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
But maybe.
Yeah, at the end of the day, we'll just say Sage is racist. That's what we'll say. Just kidding. Sage is great. She's great. She's great. She's a great bartender there. So go check out Cooper's if you can. But like I said, check out Lucky Raven. You guys have got to check them out. I appreciate you guys so much for coming on the podcast today and talking to us about this.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, Nicole, Devon, Hypocrisy Jones, and for myself, Jordan Danger Grainger, this has been the Kokomo Press Podcast. We love you and we appreciate you hanging out. Hey, you just listened to the Kokomo Press Podcast. We thank you for tuning in. We hope you had a great time. If you did, go ahead and like us, subscribe to us, hit that notification bell, do all the things to help us get seen. Go find us over on Facebook, on YouTube, on Instagram, on TikTok. Like us, follow us there. And if you want to really, really help us out, we now have a new thing called Facebook subscriptions. It's only $4.99 a month, and it helps us build out even more than what we have already. Helps us get more equipment, helps us put money into shows, because we give you comedy shows, we give you guys skits, we give you guys podcasts, we give you guys jokes. And if you want to be a part of a group of people that actually get to talk to us and tell us your input first and get to directly speak to us, and maybe even, help us write some of these jokes, you can be a part of the group. Join that subscriber base. It's only $4.99 a month, and it's not a lot, but it helps us out tremendously. And it's going to give you an opportunity to maybe win some merch here and there. We're going to do a lot of fun things with our subscribers. So please check us out everywhere you can. And if you want to, subscribe to our page. Thanks for listening to this podcast. We love you. Thank you. 2 kisses.